All right, we're back, West Texas Bros, here at Roots, the plant company here in Amarillo, Texas, with Keely and Bruce.
Grayson.
Told you, Drake. Now we getting somewhere. But yeah, they're a local plant group here in Amarillo, Texas, and it's been surviving and thriving for years now. We're going to let them tell you guys about their company and what they represent to the community.
Perfect.
Yeah, sure. We've been open for about 3 years now. We do terrarium classes and house plants. And we try to make it an experience where you're able to kind of be creative. And yeah, there's been ups and downs, but we have been really surprised at how much this community has supported us. And it's been a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
We've learned a ton just through like our customers and everything. So it's been a really fun experience.
If I could ask, what made y'all guys want to get involved with plants? Like your backstory.
Yeah, for sure. I like randomly got into plants like via bonsai. It was like how I got into plants, and then I got one and it died like immediately, and yeah,
That's my plant right now.
It's everybody's first experience, I feel like, with plants, and especially with bonsai.
Yes.
Yeah, you kill it and you're like, what did I do? I must suck at it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So by doing that and then like trying to learn and figure out like why it died, how to be better about it, and like just learning the horticulture behind it. Yeah, just kind of like a deep dive, into it and got like really into it. And then, bonsai's tricky. So indoor houseplants is like a little bit easier. So I was like, okay, I'm going to start doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of right after COVID moved to Fort Worth. And we moved there with like 3 houseplants. And then by the time we moved back, we were there for like 2 years. We had like over 300 houseplants.
That's amazing.
So while we were there, I worked at a plant shop, and yeah, we just like got super into the hobby, and and it just kind of took over. And then, as I was saying, working at that plant shop, I kind of learned the business and how it was ran and how they did stuff. And I was like, man, if we move back, we could kind of do this ourselves. So yeah, that was kind of the move. You know what I mean?
Y'all prefer like rare plants over like domestic?
Yeah, for sure. I try to do more common stuff, like for people getting into it and stuff like that. So you're not like going deep into like the obscure. But I, being the collector, like I said, I had a ton. Really like the collector weird exotic plants. So I will import stuff from like Indonesia and Ecuador and
Oh wow.
and stuff like that's like more uncommon, like collector kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you have like a personal favorite of yours?
Yeah, probably Anthuriums as like a genus of plants is like my favorites. I have some kind of behind y'all. It's like the round, like oval teardrop kind of shape looking ones,
Okay.
like those. They're kind of from like Indonesia, like they're like
That's
Asia,
amazing.
you know what I mean? And
they're super cool.
They're super cool, but they need like humidity in particular
They're
conditions.
difficult
so,
here.
so it's hard to like grow unless you like are into it and you got humidifiers and all that
Yeah.
kind
Oh,
of
yeah,
stuff,
the
you
whole
know what I
setup
mean? The
for
whole
it.
setup for
Yeah.
sure. But
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, but
So every plant is unique, or can you like crossbreed?
Yeah, definitely, there's like the genuses of plants that like, and like, within the family, there's like the subcategories, you know what I mean? But
yeah, those are all like you can crossbreed a lot of plants, but they kind of have to be in the same genus, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. So
Yes.
like for Anthuriums, like all of them are all like crossbreeds of each other.
mhm.
There are new ones like coming out all the time. It's kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
like, new Anthurium just
Have
dropped.
y'all
Yeah.
tried like crossbreeding yet? or-
No, that's a little above my pay grade. I mean, I know how people do it. You know what I mean? Like I've
Okay.
seen it, but like you got to have like 2 mature plants at the same time, like ready to be,
Wow.
like one has like producing pollen while one's like receptive to it. And like people will take like paint brushes and like paint the pollen and like collect it and then like brush it on like the receptive.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it's
So
a whole process.
It's a whole thing. Yeah.
That's scientific.
It
It
is.
is.
And you need like a very like sterile setup to do that stuff. So that's kind of its own thing,
Mhm.
which we would love to do that stuff. But
Sounds
yeah.
like a human inseminated pregnancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. It pretty much is.
It's kind of weird too, because like with one like receptive flower, I've seen people like the very top is pollinated with this, the middle's pollinated with this, and then the bottom's pollinated with another. So with like one flower, there's like 3 different ones that can like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, people get
Yes.
crazy
Very
with it.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Is
yeah.
it done like in lab settings a lot?
You know, there are like hobbyists that do it, but a lot of times they are like big greenhouses that like do on big scale kind of stuff. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Yeah, that and like tissue culture and all sorts of stuff is just like, yeah, very scientific and yeah, but it's pretty cool how it all works. But
Yeah.
yeah, we just buy wholesale. So yeah, it's
and we
more
have a
our route.
tiny little back room back there. We can't
Yeah,
do
we can't get
too much.
Yes.
Does Emerald have a good wholesaler, or do you?
Not really,
We used to buy flower. I worked at Boston Greenhouse.
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
we used to go, and I just remember getting the flowers wholesale and stuff.
Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure. With some more common stuff, there's a place in Colorado
Okay.
that we go to, and then or they actually come to us, and we used to travel to Dallas to get
Wow.
our stuff
Uh-huh.
until like my car kind of blew up. And it was like, okay, we
Oh,
can't
my
we can't
God.
be
Do this
traveling
too
too
much.
much, you know.
But we did that a lot.
We did that a
but
lot.
yeah, there's nothing real like around here that
That's-
does like tropical plants.
On like a
Yes.
Is it
wholesale
hard
kind
Yeah.
of
shipping
thing.
tropical plants? Is there like a?
It can be.
It can
Yeah, and especially like when I'm saying like importing from like Indonesia and Ecuador, sometimes it has to go through like customs, and then there might be like a 2-week period where you know people don't know plants and they have to like take it out and inspect it and then just throw it back in. So like, yeah, I don't know.
There's a lot of risk
Yeah.
to that.
There's
Yeah,
risk
there's
to it
risk
for
to
sure.
it,
So you got to be careful.
But they have like it's usually like it's set up very smart, like the way they package it and stuff to make sure like moisture stays.
They'll put like
But
heat
yeah,
packs in
it's really
boxes and stuff.
custom, so you got to worry about like just
Sure.
airing
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
y'all had that happen yet?
One import we got was pretty rough.
Yeah.
But they've kind of changed it to where like now it goes directly to this distributor in the United States, and then they distribute it out. So it's kind of they've figured it out more.
Okay.
But yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah,
It could be a
Yeah.
hassle.
yeah,
Oh, for sure.
a little bit of a
100%.
hassle.
So yeah, we take on the risk. So yeah, the
Yeah.
customers don't have to.
So I work at a convenience store, so
Okay.
people normally walk in. I can kind of read what they want
Mhm.
and all of this stuff. So like, what is some reasons why people say they want plants and Pacific plants?
That's a good question. I know like a lot of people are like, I love plants, but I love succulents. Like succulents are the plants that I love.
Mhm.
And then like me, I really love tropical plants. Like succulents are cool, but like I definitely have a niche. And yeah, I think people do just kind of find themselves in their niche to where they're like, I know these, you know, I know their care, I know how to take care of them, that kind of stuff. So I think people with experimentation kind of find what they're into, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's definitely like different graphics of people like, you know, I feel like indoor houseplants is usually like a female dominated kind of area.
Yes.
But then like bonsai is like very heavily male dominated.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
cool.
So yeah, so like yeah, it is kind of interesting how like the different types of people like are into different stuff. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Are you finding now that like you've been around, people are looking for more tropical plants versus more common? Are you seeing kind of that turn a little bit?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
in Fort Worth. The rare plant
Oh, rare
community
plants.
was like vast.
Uh,
Like people were like super into it, and that's just like a bigger area, obviously. So it's like easier to like distribute stuff almost.
Yeah.
So when we moved here, we were kind of nervous that it was going to be like not that many people might be interested or whatever.
they just want their
Mhm.
basic like
Yeah,
supplements or something.
but we were so pleasantly surprised, like when we opened, and just like from day one,
Mhm.
you know, the internet and stuff like that. People have already found their niches, even if it's not like here locally, you know, readily available.
Yeah.
So when we opened, people were like, "Oh my god, we're so excited!" You know what I mean?
Yes.
Which there's some shops locally that have been doing it too. You know what I mean? But just having a new avenue to pursue and
Yeah.
stuff, you know. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
I don't know. I'm still on the basic plant part.
Yeah,
I
for
got my
sure.
first plant. I'll upgrade to rare.
Yeah, yeah.
He got a little key right
Yeah.
by his door.
His,
Walk in.
his name's Charlie. Like I'm just trying to keep him alive.
Charlie.
Drake, tell him my story.
Yeah. No, there's nothing wrong with it too. And what's cool is like even within like the more common stuff. So it's like pothos, is like the IV trailing ones.
My aunt has one of those.
Yeah. So like usually people that's like their first plant. But even within that, there's like tons of different varieties that people still might not know.
Mhm.
So I have some over there that it's like within the family of pothos and it
Oh,
behaves the same way.
Yes.
But however, it's like you won't see this variety in like Lowe's or Home Depot or Walmart or anything
Right.
like that. It's like a, you know what I mean? So even within like the more common, almost like easier plants, there's like nuances and stuff that you can kind of, expand out with,
Is it a balance of trying to find something new versus finding something that sells? I guess?
Definitely.
Yes.
Like,
100%.
I don't know. We are always trying to balance, like, because it feels like, okay, well, we need to get some like common house plants in here so that, because so many people come in like, oh, I'm just starting out,
Mhm.
and or like, oh, I have an office that I need to just fill with plants that don't need a ton of light or care, stuff like that. But then we'll like get a random influx of people like, oh, I'm looking for rares, and so we like it's hard to balance that
So
for
their
sure.
convenience is their need.
Mm-hmm.
Basically,
Definitely.
in a lot of
Yeah,
cases.
definitely.
Yeah.
And a lot of like houses here are built to keep like light out. So that's another thing I think people like realize when they come in here and they're like, oh, I want succulents and stuff. But my house, like nothing lives in there. And we're like, oh, we definitely have the plant for you.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people get into it here for that reason. Like, this stuff is easier to keep alive in Amarillo houses because of the like lack of light.
You think the dryness helps certain plants too? Like
Definitely hurt it.
Yeah,
I would say
it probably
more than
hurts more
help.
than
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably hurts
But
more.
no, like pothos and stuff like that. Like we have a ton of plants that definitely do fine with
The dry climate.
With drier climates,
but,
yeah.
But yeah, we definitely try to let people know if they're looking at a plant that doesn't do well with that, like kind of what they're getting into. Like you're gonna need a humidifier probably, or some sort of cabinet. But
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, is the humidifiers and stuff like crazy builds, or is it a lot? It's like if you want like a say like a rare plant, is the tanks and setup? Is it? Can you find common like easy setups or?
For sure. I mean, honestly, a lot of the times, like if you have like a pretty bright space, like where you want your plants to be, just like putting a humidifier in that region like does a lot of work for you. Like you don't even necessarily need to like encase it.
Okay.
But I do have like display cases and stuff over there that I have a humidifier running that it stays.
I did notice that.
Yeah, it stays at like
Yeah.
80+% humidity, which is great if you're really trying to like keep stuff like
Mhm.
super good. But honestly, a lot of times just like running a humidifier in
Yeah.
your like in the vicinity of the plants like does a lot of
and
work,
like
you know
those
what I mean?
cases, like I do wish like retailers would like kind of like jump on that and like grow cabinets like
Mhm.
that. But it is something right now you kind of have to like convert it yourself.
DIY
Like
a
it's
little
still
bit,
kind of I wouldn't say newer concept, but I don't know of anywhere where you can buy them like pre-built.
Yeah.
Because I see that like as a basic plant guy,
Mhm.
that kind of scares me. I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of work.
And
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
relatively easy, but you do have to like kind of look into it. Like I think the most popular build is like this IKEA cabinet, this specific IKEA cabinet. Like people who are into rares like all have this, and you like kind of like drill a hole up at the top and run your lights in, and you can put a humidifier in there.
Yeah, if you go on like YouTube and stuff, that's like
You'll see that a
you'll see
lot.
that stuff a lot. And like on Etsy, there's like kits. Like you have to buy this, but then there's like kits of like bracketing systems like designed to fit with that. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
like I feel like the plant community is pretty like I don't know, like crafty and like trying to like figure out like what's out there and how we can convert it and like make it like a plant related.
Yeah, you can
thing,
figure it
you know what I
out,
mean?
but I'm like IKEA, you could make a lot of money.
They got a lot of
They
stuff on
just
IKEA.
having it like ready.
Like that. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
So do y'all teach like classes here?
Yeah.
And what do y'all kinda do?
As of right now, we do only terrarium classes. So terrariums are like, usually like enclosed. There's also open terrariums, but it's like a layered base, and then like the plant inside and stuff like that. Like I said, you can have ones that close that people usually associate with terrariums, but you can also have like open ones and stuff like
I
that.
didn't know you got. So they do you don't have to water them. They do everything.
If it's like
It's like its own
closed,
ecosystem.
yeah, it'll like condensate on the glass and then kind of clear, and it keeps
That's
that
so
moisture
cool.
in there, and yeah, like, it's kind of like makes its own water cycle. Like it condensates and then it like drips down, and then kind of condensates and drips down. You know what I mean? And then if it's like an open system one, it's kind of like a regular house plant where you just have to maintain it like weekly.
Yeah,
You know what I
add
mean?
water to it.
Layers and stuff.
Mhm.
It's
Right.
just- okay.
Yeah. So as of right now, we do those classes to where I build those with you, and I provide the containers and the plants and the class and supplies. And then once it's over, you decorate it. so you can kind of make it, you know, unique and cute. But
I need to get the Mr. Incredible.
Dressing up
Yeah.
the
Yeah, they got
plants.
some really nice
yeah,
stuff.
oh,
on the
thank
shelf.
you. And then we're wanting to start indoor bonsai classes, and I've been
That would be
messing with
nice.
that.
I'd
So,
be
yeah.
down for that. That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So it's funny because like so many people are interested in it, and we want to pursue it, but like that is harder than a lot of the other stuff.
Really?
Yeah, the logistics of that we're still kind of figuring out.
Yeah.
Because bonsai is not, I don't know, it's like a very nuanced thing.
Hmm.
So like trying to teach that in like a quick little class like will be hard.
Yeah.
Isn't it like a periodic thing, like over time?
Definitely. And like I feel like with like the terrariums, it's like, okay, any time of year, let's do it, build it up, and it's done. With bonsai, a lot of the times it's very seasonal, and you have to be very intentional about what you're doing and when you're doing it, and like why you're doing it, if that makes sense. Like when you prune, when you repot, when you do this, when you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like with indoor trees, you know, the time is a little bit more open, but typically with outdoor stuff, like, you know, you have a repotting window of like 3 weeks.
Mhm.
And, you know, some people have like, you know, hundreds of bonsais and stuff like that. So like
Yeah.
within that 3 week period, you might have to repot like 100
Oh, man.
bonsai, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only schedule I grew up with a plant is putting some egg water in it twice a day.
Yeah.
I might talk to him and go to sleep.
Yeah,
But you guys
Gotta
off
talk
into
to
the
him.
whole origin
Yeah.
of doing the deal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a lot of
amazing.
responsibility. I don't know who did it
Yeah.
behind closed doors in my house, but all I was doing was watering that
Yeah.
plant, say something to him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always say like if this was your job, you would be like have it down to like a science.
Y'all
So.
seem like y'all know everything.
I was gonna say, yeah.
That's funny. It was funny because a lot of people do ask me if like I went to school for like horticulture or anything like that, but I was just really into the hobby, you know, and
Yeah.
then just like learning it myself and figuring
Killed
it
a
out.
lot of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And then like talking to
my.
other people, like, oh, I have this plan and this likes this, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. And then you try it, and then yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been into plants for, you know, almost like 5 to 6 years now. No, longer than that, I would say.
Yeah.
But just throughout that time, just like learning myself, and then yeah, being able to like bring that to other people is like really cool and rewarding.
Mhm.
So
So who waters all the? Do y'all take turns watering?
we do take
Yeah,
turns.
it kind of
Yeah.
depends. Probably mostly him.
Is it just like a feel thing? Like you could tell, like what? Okay, that's
Yeah.
what I've been doing on my plant.
Yeah, I wish we could have like a set schedule, but we always have different plants in here with different needs, and it kind of depends on how dry it is outside, how much light everything gets. So everything kind of dries up at a different time.
Yeah, so it's always about like I just kind of like walk back and forth and just, you know, assess everything and
That's
yeah.
pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
That's pretty good.
Because like I would try to like have a system, like chart it down, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
but just you being able to walk and tell like, okay, this needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, like, you know, having a system can be good.
Uh-huh.
However, I feel like, you know, plants don't go by like, okay, it's Sunday, I'm ready to be watered now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There are so many
Sometimes they're
variables.
more at certain times.
100%.
So they schedule fluctuates.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so if you're like, okay, well, you're on my schedule now, they're like, okay, I'll just die. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So I mean, with that, like,
Uh-huh.
what's the best way to tell, like, even for new people learning?
Yeah, a lot of plants luckily kind of like droop like their foliage and stuff. So if you know, that's usually an indication that it's too dry. If you give it water, it should like kind of perk back up.
Mhm.
That's a lot of plants.
Mhm.
A lot of other times, like assessing the soil. Like if the soil's wet, it's usually like much darker. If it dries up, it usually turns like a tan kind of color. It depends on the soil you
Mhm.
use. That's an indication. Also the weight of the pot. So like sometimes if I'm trying to like really go fast, like I'll just like pick up stuff, and if there's weight, there's water. If it's like
Yeah.
really light, it's dry.
I think that's
You
the
know what I mean?
best way to like tell.
almost
Like
sounds
if
awesome.
it's empty, it's empty. Like there's no water in there.
Yeah.
It's
I
good
don't
to
know
know.
why I started thinking about picking out a pineapple when he said that. 'Cause you know
Yeah.
the middle thing.
Yeah.
It's sweet. Yeah. Kinda like-
That's
I don't
funny.
know.
But yeah, like, and we kind of know about like the time frame, like something would be dry. So, let me just go check everything
Just
out
after all
and see.
Yeah.
the years.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. You kind of get a sense.
It's like,
for,
oh, I haven't watered this in a while. But
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, oh, like the leaves are yellowing. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
damn, I didn't
I
catch
missed
that.
that.
I got a
Yeah.
personal question.
Yeah.
Like, I know that these plants are your family, you know, and
Mhm.
like, do you guys ever be like, You remember that one we had over
Oh,
there?
all the
And
time.
now y'all got a shorter version of it. Y'all comparing it to the last one y'all had. Like, it's
Uh-huh.
not flourishing like that.
Oh,
one.
Yeah.
all the time. There are plants
100%.
that I will always remember them, what they looked like, who
Yes.
bought them. Like,
Is it kind
I'm
of
like,
sad
I hope
getting
it's
rid of
doing
some of the
good.
plants? Like,
Yes,
Kinda like adoption.
Sometimes, yeah. A lot of times, like the plants we love the most usually go to people that we like know
that's
Yeah.
cool.
can like really take
Keep
care
them
of
in the
them.
family.
So I'm
Yeah,
like, this will
exactly.
probably be very taken care of with this person. So, but sometimes, you know, it's like going to a random person and I'm like, dude, I hope they keep this alive. I'm like, let me
Yeah.
know if you need help.
Yeah,
But-
exactly.
But usually it goes to like the really cool plants go to someone that they really know what they're doing.
Yeah, and they
I'm
see it,
like,
they're
they'll
like, "Oh, I
probably
know
do,
this is a
do
cool
better
plant,"
with
you
it than
know?
us.
Yeah. So,
I was gonna ask, how many plants do you have on record?
currently right now, I don't know.
I actually don't
to
know
be
right now.
honest with you, I don't know.
You don't know.
We have a few like that are like not for sale that are our own. I think I have 5. So like everything else besides like 5 is
Let
like
me
for
raise my hand in
sale.
class. You
Yeah.
can never have an exact count with these plants because one could just be uprooting right next to a plant that's already
Yeah,
rooted.
Yeah,
absolutely.
for sure.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy with how you can like propagate stuff, you know,
Mhm.
where it's like you have one giant plant and then you cut it up and then you still have that same plant, but it's trimmed. And then now you can have like, 40 cuttings. And now these are new individual plants as well. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
That's cool. Do y'all find yourself doing that more now?
Some stuff like uncommon stuff that I like is harder for me to get again. Sometimes I'll
Mhm.
cut it up. But
Some stuff is so cheap, it's not worth the like time it would take to grow it ourselves
Yeah.
and the space that we have. So if it's like a really rare plant that's like expensive to get, we will do that. But like a pothos or something, we don't really do that much because it's
It's so
like
cheap.
so much cheaper to just get someone that has already been growing it for 5 years
in a
and-
greenhouse,
yeah.
with hundreds of others right next to it, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, kind of,
Yes.
yeah.
I'm thinking about what's that plant in that place in Medi Park?
The
Botanical
garden.
garden.
Oh man, I went through there, man. I thought I was gonna be eaten. You remember
Yeah,
that movie?
that's
Feed
crazy.
Feed me more. Man, the plant's that big. I was like,
Oh,
no.
Yeah, that place is crazy. We actually have that big bird of paradise like over there, that huge plant.
I didn't know
Like once it doesn't
Yeah.
fit in here anymore, like we're probably gonna see if they want it.
Yeah.
Because I think that
Very cool.
atrium is the only
Donate
place that
it's big enough.
yeah.
That's what
I
they
think
do
we
when
can
they
donate there.
graduate.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
y'all
awesome.
want this.
Yeah, because if it's too big, I guess I'll try to sell it, and then if it's too much, I might end up donating it.
Yeah, I don't
you
know.
But
That thing needs to go in an atrium, I think.
Yeah,
at
be-
some
be
point.
observed by many people.
Oh yeah.
How long have you had that for?
I've had that one for probably maybe 4.5 years, maybe 5.
That thing is massive.
Which it was
Yeah.
huge when we got it,
Yeah.
so it was already big.
It was already big, but
So
it's
I don't
definitely grown.
know- I don't know how old it actually is. What do you think?
I have no
Like
idea.
20 years old,
Maybe. Oh my
probably.
gosh.
Yeah,
Have y'all ever tried to cut that one up? Or
no,
No.
just
Mm-mm.
kind of mar it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
just let it
too
go.
big. Like if you cut one of those leaves off and like try to propagate, I don't know. It would just be crazy.
Yeah. And some plants are pretty easy to propagate. Some are not. Like I don't even know how you'd begin to propagate something that size.
Yeah.
You might have to grow those from like seed or something like that. Like some you can cut up, some like you have to grow like via
Yeah,
seed and stuff. So
it does depend.
Like I said, I'm not for sure about those ones honestly.
Is that a rare plant? Or is
Bird of
it-
paradise, not really.
Not really?
You can kind of find them around. Like you'll see them at like Walmart and Lowe's sometimes.
Mhm.
Okay.
But they call them bird of paradise because like the flower that they get, it looks like a bird. It's it's like orange and yellow, and it's like spiky, almost like feathers.
It is
looking.
rare to get it to flower.
Yeah.
Really?
Like
So,
if someone gets it to flower, like that's crazy.
kudos.
That one never has
No.
for us.
Mm-mm.
Which is just not getting enough light. Like they need just a perfect amount of light for that to happen.
Yeah.
And in our shop, it's not.
Are
Yeah,
y'all
we do
starting
our
to see
best.
some stuff flowering yet, or is it still?
Right now, I feel like it's a little early. Maybe. I mean, we had the Aglinema today
Yeah,
that was
we
flowering.
sold one that was flowering, but everything is like growing a lot like the last week, honestly. So it's definitely like
Kinda warming up a
spring
little
is
bit.
coming.
Yep.
Shoot.
So, like with plants, I don't know. I don't know much either.
No, you're good.
Like, do they get sick at all? Because I know there's some nurseries that
Mhm.
help people take care of their plants.
Yeah.
Grow back.
Yeah, definitely. There's like, just like with anything, there's like pest issues or like fungal issues and stuff like that. And I'll try to help people with that. But a lot of it really is just getting it from a good source that doesn't already have those issues. Because
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of times when you get houseplants and you take it to your house and then you have an infestation, like it came from a plant that you brought in,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And you know, greenhouses is like hundreds of plants all put together in one room. So sometimes, you know, that can kind of like spread out, you know, and then they're selling them and stuff. So
Yeah.
when we get plants, we treat it immediately. So like we have like a insecticide kind of stuff
Yeah.
that we spray on the leaves.
And we've like tried many wholesalers at this point, and we've like
found some
gone
good
to
ones.
wholesalers that it's like, man, this is bad. Like the infestations are bad. So we like try our best to like get it from a good source.
Mhm.
That's
But
good.
there's also no guarantee. There's even like even just if we used to do a lot of outdoor events here, and like just being under the trees and stuff like have brought in pests
Oh, okay.
like from outside, like
Yeah.
spider mites. That's a big one that's
Mhm.
like all in the trees outside. So I don't know, it's always a risk, but I think yeah, like starting with a good plant where people have like actually tried to like keep it healthy
Mhm.
like is the main like way you're gonna know if it's gonna be successful or not.
Yeah, and a lot of people will go to Walmart and like buy like an already dying kind of plant and be like, man, I just suck with plants because it died, you know? And I'm like,
Yeah, it's like, it's not your fault.
Those are down.
yeah,
Oh,
so
man.
it's like it's not your fault.
It's
You're
not your
you know, it was
fault.
stacked against you already.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, we try to
But yeah, we do have different treatments for like pests or fungal issues or root issues. Like
Can we bring our plants if like say something were to come up like
yeah,
Definitely.
potentially. And a lot of people will send us like photos and stuff.
Mhm.
So like you can like treat it at your house and I might like give you recommendations and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
But also do like repots up here so you can bring your plant and like
just like a small feed.
yeah.
yeah, exactly. It kind of depends on how much soil I use
Okay.
in the repot.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, we can usually tell from a picture like
Yeah.
what's going
That's
on.
the first
That's
thing
awesome.
I thought about when he kept saying your name.
Mm.
Man, I bet they do a hell of a repot.
We do.
we
We do a good
pretty
repot.
That's funny.
We sure do. But yeah, we can usually kind of tell from a picture. And then if it's like, all right, like we physically need to do something to this plant, like then bring it in. But
Mhm.
a lot of times it's just like, oh, you might just need to move that to a different spot or just up the watering or less water. That is the main culprits.
That's
usually.
awesome.
Struggling
Kind of makes
plants,
it
yeah.
easier when you're thinking about plants. Like, oh, just water, just less or more.
Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure.
You know?
But it's kind of cool. You know, they're not always like, they can't tell you what's wrong with them, but like the way that they show signs
Yeah.
is kind of cool because, you know, they will kind of almost tell you in a way like,
Mhm.
hey, something's wrong. And then,
And that's how you
Yeah.
get good at like knowing when to water stuff really is like they show little signs and you're like, okay, I know
okay,
that.
yeah.
now.
So if y'all had to estimate how many plants died, like just learning, like getting into the business. And
Oh
learning,
man. Throughout my years of like having plants and stuff like that, I mean, I've probably killed hundreds.
Hundreds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of them was
Hundreds.
already predestined. To
Yeah.
Yeah,
anyway
yeah, for
before you-
sure.
I would say the vast majority of the ones that die on us are these little tiny guys.
These
Like we'll
little
get
guys?
those in like a flat and like we'll probably lose like 5 or 6
Just right off
per.
the rip.
Yeah, we're just opening up the package. Like some of them are
Yeah,
already like gone. 'Cause,
so-
like, they come from like Florida, like where the growers are and stuff. So just like FedExing it to us, and then like, yeah, like you know, they're in such tiny pots that if they dry out, they dry out really fast, and then like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just so little and fragile. Like it's hard to save those ones, but
Infants.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So,
But
yeah,
with
yeah,
these,
yeah.
like, kind of like once you get into 4-inch and up, we haven't killed that many. I mean, maybe before we started this, we
Yeah.
probably did. But
See, and we used to do a lot of stuff like where people, because what we do, I think we talked about it, we do what's called long-term plant support. So like people will, you know, whether you get it from us or not, you can send us photos to our Instagram or email. We'll look at the plant, tell you what we think's wrong with it and how to save it and stuff like that. But like a lot of the things that people will be like, oh, I was doing this and I think it's dying. Like we have already done that years ago, and we're like, yeah, that will kill your plant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I'm
yeah.
an experienced
Yeah.
plant.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use the word killer.
Yeah. I always tell people you got to kill plants to know how to take care of them. Like
It
obviously
is
you
part
don't
of it.
like want to do
Yeah,
it,
it's not
but like
intentional.
it's
yeah.
not intentional, but like it's just trial and error.
If
and,
you
like,
were
kinda-
just perfect at it from the beginning, you wouldn't actually know what you're doing right.
Yeah.
Like,
You
man.
got
so,
that green finger.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
brings me in mind when he was like, it makes me feel like, Oh my God. Horrible.
Yeah,
Jump in my
right.
ass.
I do like
It is
anthropomorphize a lot of plants to where it's like, yeah, like oh man, poor guy, like
Poor
he's
little
having
guy.
a tough time right now, you know, like I'll try to help him, you know, but yeah.
It's kind
It
of
is
like a
kinda funny.
little like puppy or something. You're just
Yeah.
like, oh, that's your little guy. Like you kind of
Uh-huh.
raise them. And
Yeah.
it's on your
Yeah.
own.
And when they're like putting out new leaves, it's like, oh, you're growing, man. Look at you.
Yeah, when they grow, you're like, I did that, even though you didn't. Like,
So- With that, like with the getting attached and things like Drake, yours is named Charlie.
Yeah.
Do you have a
Yeah.
few that you've like specially named, whether it's at home or even here?
I haven't, because I just try to learn like the Latin name for everything, you know what I
That's
mean?
awesome.
Like to where it's like, yeah, like almost like the scientific name of like what it is. And then once I learn that, I'm kind of happy with just that. So
Yeah.
like,
yeah,
you know,
That's cool.
rather than trying to like,
Actually, pick a name.
yeah,
right.
like that one up there in the corner is called Anthurium veicii.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
like
so it's
King
just like, oh,
Anthurium.
the Veicii.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the veicii or like
They're better names than just
Hadaphorum or whatever,
no
you know what I
offense
mean?
to your-
Yeah, it's better than like Roger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but that's well, you know,
Yeah.
who wants to learn like weird Latin names? So like, if you want to name your stuff wherever, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But for me, it makes sense to try to learn, and especially like filling out wholesale orders, like
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
wholesales. It's all just the Latin names of plants. You know what I mean? So it's like you just got to know what those.
Which we were
are,
talking
you know
about
what I
those
mean?
hybrid plants. It's so hard to
'Cause
remember.
there's so many
Like,
different new names. and stuff you
yeah,
have to remember.
crazy names. You're like, oh, this is a Papnilinum, Veicii, and Theory. Like,
Uh-huh.
and then it's hard to tell the difference between them. So some of that stuff in the case, I'm like, if someone's asking me about it, I'm like, Grayson, I cannot tell.
That's Papnilinum Wonder Boy mixed with Forgittii. Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are
some
like
of them
medical
get
terms.
crazy.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. for
And
sure.
a lot of them, it's like, I've never seen this in my life. Like, this is my first time seeing this. So it's like, sometimes it gets tricky to
Yeah.
identify.
I'm actually saying it's like it's silly because like these plants like evolved, you know, but like some plants are like it seems like they just dropped. Like, oh, this
Yeah,
plant's like hot right
new
now.
plant just
New
dropped.
Plant just dropped. You know, you gotta learn the new plant
Yeah.
name. You know what I mean? So that happens a lot.
That does happen
That's
a lot.
gangster.
I was gonna say I have a lot of admiration for y'all because you're already young entrepreneurs. You
Oh,
have
yeah,
your
thank
own
you.
business, your own building, like,
Mhm.
especially at a young age. How is it like running your own business?
Man, it's super rewarding. It is tricky for sure. Like, you know, getting something started from like nothing and then kind of building it up and stuff like that. You know, like we didn't have a ton of upfront capital and stuff to like to put into it. So like when we moved back, I was saying like I had 300 houseplants. Like my first inventory was my personal collection, and by selling my collection, like is how we were just able to like snowball it into like what we're doing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
It's
So
been,
yeah.
it's been like really rewarding.
Mhm.
And we feel very lucky. Like, I don't know, like so much of this has felt like luck. It's crazy because we do work hard, but like it just feels like we're very lucky to be in this community who's like really keeping us afloat and stuff.
Definitely.
Like that's the main part, but obviously we put a lot into it, but sometimes it kind of feels like, man, we should have failed at this already, but people
you're,
like kind of
legit.
keep us.
I look real, like, wow,
Yeah, I mean,
Thank you, man.
I'm impressed.
Oh,
Thank
appreciate
you.
that.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
So, do y'all work with like any other local plant shops?
I not
Or-
really, but I like on my register. So I really do more tropical plants. Is like my niche that I'm like really into and really care about. But a lot of people that come in looking for like succulents and stuff like that. There's a place local called like Chaparral.
Chaparral,
Chaparral.
cactus.
So when people are coming in looking for succulents, like I always send them that direction and stuff. And I've heard of them with being like, oh, you know, they told us to come check you
Yeah,
out.
so we'll help
Yeah.
send people to kind of like what they're actually looking for, because I do feel like a lot of us do have different niches.
Mhm.
I think most people can kind of find what they're looking for, like garden centers and stuff, but like we have a lot of stuff that you would not find there.
Yeah.
And then like people, like he said, will come in looking for succulents and stuff, and that is the best place I've ever been for
Yeah.
like cactus succulents ever, like
Mhm.
anywhere. It's amazing.
That's cool.
But yeah.
And that's right outside Canyon.
It's it's between here and Canyon. It's like on Georgia.
Okay.
I think I've
Yeah.
driven
I think it's on
past it.
Chaplin Road or something like that. It's like past the like you drive over some train tracks
Okay.
to get
Okay.
there. I don't know exactly.
I
I
think
forget where it's at.
There's one greenhouse. There's one in I think Plainview that I've gone to a few times. I don't know if y'all ever
okay.
drive around the Panhandle. They have
Yeah,
some
not
real nice ones
much.
too.
At
Uh-huh.
Plainview, you said?
Yeah, I think it's Plainview or Pampa. I go there a
Uh-huh.
few times, and
Uh-huh.
it's a real small town, but it's on like if you're coming from here to there, it's on the left side. I think it's a I'm not 100%. I think it's family owned.
Yeah, for
Mhm.
I'm
sure.
too sure, but they're more flowers, things like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure.
I know. Yeah, that's really cool though.
Yeah, that's what's
Yeah.
cool
It's
about
helping
like
the community.
plant shops too. Is like a lot of them are locally owned. Like there's not like a big. I mean, maybe every once in a while, but like there's no like chains. You know what I mean? I feel like
Yeah.
every like plant shop you find is like usually like a locally owned kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's either like a new kind of pop up that's like us, or that has been in the community for like decades and decades, kind of doing their thing too. You know what I mean? And
Mom and pops.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's cool too because like I've had a ton of customers that have come in and be like, oh yeah, the guy working in like the Lowe's garden department was seeing me buy tropical plants there and came up to me and was like, you need to go to Roots. Like they have crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard like a ton of people, you know, being like just random people telling them, you know, to come and stuff. And yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, I think that's what's cool about plants too is like, I don't know, like if you're into it, like you just get excited about it and you want
Mhm.
to like share and like, that's what's cool about plants too. I know I said that, but like you cut them up and then it's like, I don't need like 10 of the same plant. So it's like very like communal towards like, here, I'll give you this. Oh, I don't have that plant. You give me that.
Yeah.
And we-
That's awesome.
System? Like, y'all kind of
Yeah.
yeah, we've done, what is it called?
Plant swap.
Plant swaps.
Okay.
Yeah, we right now we just do like an annual one, which like we should probably do more because it's been like really successful. But yeah, people will just come in with their plants and trade with each other, and everyone's really
Yeah.
excited.
There's like no
It's
like real
fun.
like money exchange. It's
Yeah.
just like
That's
bartering with plants. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
Do y'all do a lot of? Because I know I've seen y'all a couple years ago. I think AnimalCon.
Yes.
Y'all,
Yeah.
Do y'all do a lot of other local events or vendor shows that they?
We've kind of slowed down doing that, but we would like to continue to do
Yeah,
that.
in the beginning we did a lot,
Trying to
but
get the word out and stuff.
yeah, we were all the time.
Yeah.
But it like now that we're like busier here, it makes more sense for us to be here. And a lot of times we would have to close here
Yeah,
because
of
most
course.
events are on Saturday. So we're just getting to the point where Saturday is like crazy in here. There's a bunch of
Prime time.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and like especially the outdoor events, like it can be really rough on our inventory. And like I
Oh.
said, like we bring pests in sometimes from it, and
Yeah.
the weather's always is never
Yeah.
good for
Yeah, and going from
Yeah.
like in here where it's like very ideal, acclimatized, and then we go throw it out in the emerald wind, and it's like dry and the wind's beating it
Kinda
up and stuff.
struggles.
Yeah, so like sometimes it's just like, oh, it's not worth us trying to like,
Yeah,
take this
we are
plant out
kind of
there
taking
to-
a break from all that.
yeah,
But-
a
I
bit.
remember seeing y'all at Bazaar too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was like, hey.
Yeah, that one's always really fun to do.
We like doing the themed markets because it is just like,
They're really nice.
yeah,
Yeah, it's fun to make your booth kind of look like whatever the theme is and stuff. But we always did good at Amicon. I love doing Amicon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people.
they were packed because I was at
Yeah.
Amazon, and I was like, hey, I was
Yeah.
kind of trying to buy a little succulent or something. I was
Uh-huh.
like, oh,
Yeah, Amicon's cool because it's like, you know, a lot of the stuff there is like, you know, very almost like on theme of like the entire event, and then we are just
then
like
there's
the
just
sore
us.
thumb,
Yeah.
you know, just like
Oh,
super, you know, very unique and different compared to every other booth. So yeah, we do
We
and
would
stuff
do
like that.
well.
We do well, you know.
But
what
we
I mean?
didn't ever do well at the Reptile Expo.
Oh,
Really?
that's right.
Isn't
Yeah.
that crazy?
I've
Yeah.
done a few. And I say it's a lot lately. It's weird. I've done a few vendor shows in the past with people, and the reptile one, yeah, you would think that would do really well.
I know. You'd think
They
like
kinda
people are
complements
buying
each other.
enclosures, they're buying
Exactly.
reptiles, and we're like, oh, we got the plants for you. But I think people are probably already like dropping so much money on the
People don't
reptiles and the
realize that.
enclosures.
Yeah, it's been a lot of money.
They're like, I don't have money for the plants right now.
getting
It's
So
crazy.
stuck in a rock.
so like we would get people that like we talked to there come in at a later time when they're like
yeah.
ready to get the plants, but we
Yeah,
just
some of them are
didn't do well
expensive for the
there. Like
reptiles they get.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know the one times they had an actual like a big tortoise or something that they were trying to sell.
Uh-huh.
I was like,
Yeah.
man, that's.
I loved doing it though, like seeing all the reptiles and stuff. It was always fun, but we would leave with like $0
Yeah,
in all our
it's
inventory.
always a gamble.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Like once you start learning about like other hobbies and other trades like reptiles and stuff like that, like, they're like, oh, this reptile was crossed with this one, so it has this pattern and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, my plant was crossed with this one, so it has this pattern. You know what I mean? Like,
I can relate.
yeah, I can
Yeah.
relate. So it's funny, like even with all
It's
like,
very similar.
it's very similar. It's where it's like, yeah, I bred this with this to get this outcome. Like I don't know. There's like a lot of commonality with that.
It's amazing.
I was gonna mention your frog. I remember your
Yeah.
frog. And
We have a poison dart frogs, and we have a crested gecko, and we have a chameleon.
Yeah, this is the
Uh-huh.
reptile expo.
Yeah, this is yeah, it's almost like a small little zoo. But yeah, it's cool because a lot of these like amphibians and reptiles, they do go hand in hand with like plants and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that we offer. We don't do it all the time, but like if you do have an animal, we can make these enclosures for you from like we don't provide the enclosure itself, but from like empty to done with like
Yeah.
all the plants.
Like
and
if
the
you have a tank,
filter
we'll
and-
like build it out
That's
for
awesome.
you.
Really?
So we've done that a few times with
Which,
different types of animals.
If we
and
ever do
stuff.
the reptile expo again, I think that's what we will do is like have pre-made enclosures.
Oh, yeah,
See if
that
that
would-
works.
I think
But
Yeah.
but it would
Pretty
be
much.
difficult. Like we don't have a lot of space to just store them if they don't sell or whatever. So
Exactly.
I don't know. The logistics of it are kind of weird. But
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask, the poison dart frog, is that
Mhm.
hard to come by?
So I bought them online, but since I've done that and like people coming in here and stuff like that, I found out that there's a place locally who breeds and sells
Really?
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're called Vivarium Garage, and they have all different types and stuff, and they're cool guys. It's not like a storefront that you can like go to, but you can
Mhm.
like hit them up, and they have like
Yeah,
their
they
their
look at
offsite location.
Instagram and they'll let you know what they have or what you're looking for. And
Yeah.
they can do a ton of stuff.
Is
But,
it like you have to have any special papers or anything for
No,
or
what's-
any special?
Surprisingly not.
Yeah,
That's
what's
crazy.
cool
For the
about them is
poison dart
like in nature they're like one of the most like toxic, deadly animals, but in captivity they're not poisonous, and it's based on their diet.
Really?
Yeah, so as long as you don't feed them the stuff that makes them produce it, like
Really?
I could hold them
Yeah.
and touch them and
I was-
stuff.
I was
So
giving
yeah,
mixed
so those
questions.
ones
How
are
did
not
Yeah.
poisonous, but like turns out you can just buy like the poisonous ants and stuff.
Oh my God.
So you could like
You
you
could,
could
yeah.
with zero licensing. Like I thought that
That's-
was crazy. I thought that would be illegal. Like,
Yeah.
but
I
no.
want to make a whole army of poison frogs.
Yeah.
So in
right.
case y'all ever need.
That's amazing. That's,
Put a
that's
hit out
really
on
cool.
someone.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool, like because I mean it's just not something that
Yeah, it's not-
is
it's
commonly
not-
known or anything,
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's so
super cool, and
cool.
they're so colorful, and
Yeah, exactly.
a lot of other frogs are kind of like they find like their hole and they kind of like are
That's it.
there. They're like super active, always moving
They're
and
always
jumping around. And,
around.
I always say I don't think that they know that they don't have their poison
Mhm.
because they're so like bold. Like they'll like
Really?
Yeah,
come up
they
to the
come up to you
glass
and
and,
they're
like,
Oh,
They're like,
so
"Oh,
good."
yeah, exactly.
He's like, come get some.
Yeah, it's so funny.
So yeah, it's kind of cool the way they behave. Like they evolutionary, like they are poisonous, so they can kind of behave differently than other
They got
frogs.
this
Like they can be
They do got
exactly,
that cockeyed too. It's really
exactly.
funny, yeah.
While other frogs like hide and stuff, they're like, I don't got to do that.
You're gonna step on me, but I'm gonna poison you first.
No, I remember reading a book and it said like the bright, vibrant frogs were the poisonous ones. So I looked back, I was like, oh, I think that's poisonous. That's why I was like,
Put
oh.
the lid on it.
Yeah. It's funny. And the chameleon too, if he gets like scared or mad or something, he'll like brighten up and get like very like yellow and like very bright green, but with like black dots all over him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then that's like if he's mad, and then if he's chilling, he just kind of turns like his light green.
Yeah, like right now he is pretending like he's asleep, but he is not because he has like all these patterns on him.
He's watching us.
Like we know he's awake. Yeah,
He
he's
is-
a big boy.
He's a big boy.
I
You
like,
don't
I like
name-
their hands.
Yeah. His name is Niku.
Okay.
And then the gecko in here, I think you can see his like silhouette under that red leaf. Do you see his body?
yeah.
Like
Oh my
yeah.
Gosh, I thought that was
That's
just the
tight.
lead.
No,
Yeah.
that's him. His name is
name's-
Cowboy.
His name's Cowboy.
That's awesome.
And then we never named the frogs because we used to have more,
Really?
but they didn't make it, so we only have the two, and we
And I
just
can't
still
tell 'em
haven't
apart.
named them. Yeah, I
It's
can't
like
tell
one
them
and
apart.
two.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
The frogs.
Yeah.
So what do you feed the frogs? Is it just random like?
They have it's flightless fruit flies.
Okay.
And there's people locally who like make cultures of them that I'll go buy. because the cultures only last for like a couple weeks. Like they like produce and then the culture kind of dies. So
kinda
you can make it
pesky.
it's annoying, but yeah, you can make it cultures yourself. But I'm lazy, so I just go buy them. But that's what they eat, and so like I said, it feeds them, but doesn't let them produce that like toxicity. You know.
Yeah.
So crazy. I didn't know that it was
Me
ants
neither.
that did that. I thought it was
Yeah.
just natural.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever they eat, if it's poisonous, they like secrete that poison like times 100 or whatever. Like it amplifies it.
That's
So
kinda like
it's
The flamingos, they're not like they eat that certain type of fish, and that's what.
It's like krill or something like
Oh,
that, or
yeah.
That's what, because it's like they.
Wait,
it's like they're
flamingos are
bleeding.
poisonous?
No,
No.
no,
Yeah.
but sorry, I should have said that. I'm comparing.
Yeah.
Because what they eat is that's why they're pink.
Yeah.
It's a type of fish. It, like,
Oh, it's
like it
because
looks like
of
they're
color?
bleeding out their eyes sometimes. Or
yeah, that is
Mhm.
crazy.
yeah. It's flamingos are wild.
Yeah, they're kind of scary because like
They
they
are.
look
Yeah.
pretty from afar, and then you
Up
get close
close.
Yeah,
to
they'll
them, they're
mess you up,
freaky.
bro.
Yeah, But yeah.
Yeah, I stay away from
type of
birds.
fish.
Like reptiles and frogs and stuff, I think are cool, but birds are a little freaky. And to
Crows,
me-
I might.
Yeah, crows are
Yeah.
cool. Like the birds that get into like just being like this tall. Like,
Oh,
Yeah,
my
that's scary.
Yeah.
And you got
Hell no.
wings too. It's
Hell
just
no.
like
Yeah.
wings at this point.
like an ostrich. Those things are terrifying.
Peck you to death and fly off.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing you can do.
It's
Was
like-
it ostriches on Dude, Where's My Car? Was it an ostrich that they had?
yeah,
Yeah.
no, that
Yeah.
they're mean.
Yeah, I was like,
They
oh
were-
no, I was petrified. Ostriches. I love that movie.
Yeah, those are
Nature.
mean.
So I mean, with this business, so much is
Mhm.
growing. Do y'all have like something like a future plant y'all are really hoping to invest in eventually?
I mean, I know, like, so we're about to start indoor bonsai classes is like our next goal. But I keep on saying indoor bonsai classes. So like the vast majority of all bonsai species and all just tree species just have to be outdoors.
right.
So like to do like bonsai in the like traditional correct kind of way, they have to be outside.
That's good.
So our ultimate goal, what I would really love to do is have outdoor space to be able to pursue like true bonsai.
yeah.
So that's like, you know, future goals and, you know, and stuff like that. But we love the space that we're in, so we don't want to leave it.
Yeah,
It's-
it's super
it's like
cute.
It's a good
perfect.
vibe.
Yeah, thank
It's a
you,
good
yeah.
vibe, but we do eventually like want something bigger because like especially for the classes, like most of the time like this works out, but like
Once your
I
classes
feel like
get
people in
bigger, it's
Amarillo
yeah.
like they have big families and want to do stuff all
Mhm.
together
Right.
with like
Yeah.
20 people and like eventually I would like to like be able to accommodate for bigger groups and
Yeah.
stuff. And like you said, outdoor space, bigger space to like have like backup inventory and stuff like that. So that's like our main goals for the future. And then I don't know, it'll probably change throughout there, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do y'all do
Yeah.
like scheduling for your classes, or is it just
Yeah, we do appointments on our website, rootsplantcraft.com. You can go and it'll show you like dates and times that are available. But we do them open and close every day. And as long as I don't have people like actively on the table and I don't have an appointment coming up within the next 30 minutes, we do walk-ins. And so
yeah.
okay, that's cool.
yeah, kind of the limitations is like up to 12 people is like our maximum. So yeah, if you can imagine 12 people around here, it can kind of be rough.
It's a little
You
rough.
know what I mean?
It's a little crazy.
That's like maximum that we'll allow for. But yeah, so appointments or walk-ins we do.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
With the bonsai classes, we're still figuring out whether we'll do walk-ins for those because a
It's a little more tedious.
little more tedious, a little
Yeah.
bit more. Yeah, with the terrariums, you know, you just have everything in front of you and you kind of just assemble it. With bonsai, like we have to like wire and like shape and do all sorts of stuff,
Mhm.
and I think it might just be more involved than just like a hey, come in spontaneously.
And it's a much bigger like commitment as well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, just people kind of like, oh, that's cool. Let me try it. Like with the terrariums, that works. Like we have little care guides that like you will be fine even if you've never taken care of a plant a day in your life. Like you can do the terrarium classes. Kids do them. Like it's fine, but bonsai, like you need like a little bit of commitment, like a little bit of like you're interested in this.
Yeah.
So it's
Definitely.
probably got to be more of an appointment based thing, and we would definitely like have to limit how many people at one time. Like we definitely cannot do 12
No, that'd be
trees at one
crazy.
time.
That'd be
I
crazy.
just remember watching Karate Kid and he's all.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's-
I think that was like one of just the biggest like what got people into bonsai more than like anything else, like
Yeah.
history. I think
Was
like that was the
that
thing that like,
scene.
exploded. Like
Because have
for a
you
lot of
seen?
people.
There's like I think throughout the year, there's a couple vans that will come out and set up bonsai. stands.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's-
where I said I got started via bonsai. The very first plant I ever bought was
Is it
one
from
of
one of
those.
them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't see
and,
that
uh,
many anymore.
yeah, and they're like, yeah, grow them inside and stuff. No, they will
Yeah,
die.
they told me that. I've gotten 2 from them. I think
Yep.
one was a Father's Day gift.
Uh-huh.
My dog
Uh-huh.
ate it.
Oh, yeah.
I had it outside and everything. I was
Nice.
like, you don't jump off that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
the second one, I think I bought for myself.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I was doing great at first, and then I
Mhm.
went on like a week vacation, and
Oh,
no one
yeah.
kept
That'll
up
do
with
it.
it for me. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I was,
Yeah.
it's tough.
Yeah, a lot of
It is
stuff, yeah,
tough.
that they sell and stuff like that. Like no shade, but yeah, it's just it's
It's
not.
not
it's
gonna
not-
make
It's
it.
not gonna make it for you. You know what I mean? So yeah,
It's tricky.
yeah, it's
There's
tricky.
a particular like plant that's for bonsai, right?
The one
Um,
that they sell is a juniper. Like usually you will see junipers, and those cannot live inside,
Okay.
like
Oh,
ever.
man.
And they tell you like this will be good inside. No, like those
Yeah.
have to be outside, like full sun.
Yeah.
They're-
Yeah,
I
people
know.
don't. Yeah, people don't know. So like a lot of like you know, when we say like tropical houseplants, the reason that they're like tropical houseplants, like all of these plants are from like tropical regions that they evolved to grow nearly year round.
Uh-huh.
So they can like always be warm and kind of always kind of growing. Like they might kind of go dormant for like periods of time. But when it comes to a bonsai, whether it's like junipers, there was some conifers, so like pine, spruce, whatever, they're all conifers. And then there's deciduous trees. Those are the trees that like lose their leaves in the fall and stuff like that. It's so important for those to go through like seasonality. So if you have a tree that needs that like really cold dormant period and then the spring and stuff, and you have it in your house year round, it will just eventually like run its wheels
Exhaust
and die,
all of
exhaust
its
itself and die.
energy.
So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah,
You got to learn like what kind of tree and like what region it's from. But like
Yeah.
this, like usually indoor, like just means tropical and is able to like evolve to grow under like canopies and stuff. So it doesn't need like to be scorched by the sun.
Mhm.
But most trees are like huge. Like they
Yeah.
are the thing that is like absorbing the sun. And then all this kind of stuff like grows under it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
So yeah, it's more nuanced, you know, and yeah, so
but there are tree species that like do well inside.
yeah, it's like
So-
ficuses and stuff, and those are all tropical, like just like this. The tropical trees are the ones that we are going to do for indoor bonsai.
Yeah.
Do you think
That's
that's
cool.
an adaptation or like just over?
For like the trees and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I mean it's definitely like also like region based of like where they're from. You know what I mean? Like just like what they're used to doing like in their native,
Okay.
like I said, growing
Yeah.
year round, or being like, okay, I grow for 6 months out of the year and then I slow down and I go dormant for 6 months out of the year. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just it is kind of crazy. It's stuff you don't think about until you like
Go
start
through
doing
it.
it and then start thinking about it, and you're like, oh, that makes so much sense of like
Yeah,
this
just
isn't
like
doing what
where
it
this
used to
thing
do.
is from, like
Yeah,
of course,
so
but
that one
yeah,
that y'all say can go through all 4 seasons and then it morphosizes.
the bonsai.
Yeah, like she say it don't die, it going dormant
Uh-huh.
and then like
Is that like a hibernation?
Yeah, kind of. So like I
Yeah.
said with deciduous trees, to where like in the spring you get buds, and then throughout the summer you have the leaves, and in the fall it all turns. Like what happens is like, so in the winter, all of like the energy that the tree made that year is stored in the roots, and like underground, like insulated, kind of warm and stuff like that. But then the top of the tree, it's like cold and stuff. And then once spring rolls around, all that energy goes back, and then it grows those leaves. And then once the leaves are there throughout the summer, like it stores up this energy, and then the fall, that's when all the leaves like, you know, turn, all that energy is leaving the leaves, and it's just like the pretty much hollow shell of what the leaf was, and it goes back into the roots.
Yeah.
So if you have a tree that's supposed to do that cyclical cycle year after year, but it's like all the leaves are always out and blah blah blah. Like I said, it spins its wheels and stuff. I
Yeah,
guess.
like
so
it.
is this such thing as a plant going in shop?
I would say so. Yeah, I feel like you cut the root, like too much roots off or something like that.
Yeah.
There's like, you know, too much light, like you can like burn, like scorch the plant.
Hmm. I would say
all
like
sorts of
some
stuff.
plants are more prone to like being shocked than others. Like ficuses are very known for that. These right here, are very known for like if you move it an inch, like it'll freak out and drop all its leaves. Like
Oh,
it's
freak
very
out.
easy to like make those think that they're dying, I guess.
It kind of reminds me of cats.
Mhm.
The slightest like you move or
Yeah,
change
difference.
something,
Yeah.
like you think they're just sick and dying or something.
Uh-huh.
And you take them, they're fine. Just
Yeah.
what did you do around the house
Yeah.
different?
Yes,
that's funny.
ficus do that. Like there are some plants that are very dramatic, like almost like if it's thirsty, like literally it looks dead. Like it lays
Very
completely
dramatic.
over.
What a
And
personality.
you give it some water and it's fine. Like
Yeah.
it comes right back up and nothing happened.
Mhm.
And then there's some stuff that's like really hardy. You don't know there's anything wrong with it till it is like dead. Like so it's different plants are different, but
Yeah, there's this it's like really one of the more like easy houseplants. They're called snake plants. You know, you know those, but like they can get taller and stuff. But this guy did this experiment to where he got like all of like the more common houseplants and he put them in a dark basement with no light and no water, and he would just like periodically check on like which ones died and how long it took for them to die. And yeah, it's kind of messed up, but you know, in the name of science, you know what I mean?
That's that
Science.
God persona I was talking about.
But like so like a lot of plants died within like the first month, but those snake plants, like I think you said like before it died it was like 217 days or something like that of
God.
no light, no water.
That's
but like
amazing.
you know, it didn't do great. Obviously it died and it looked awful and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but it was like they were still green, it was still trying to do its stuff. So like
mhm.
yeah, it's kind of like weird the scale and like how different plants behave and do their
Yeah.
own thing, you know what I mean?
Which one of them thrive in that atmosphere?
And yeah, and kind
Right.
of neglect and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely the snake plants I would say the most.
Wow.
Yeah, a snake plant you can really neglect like it's better to neglect them than I think
It's
the
natural.
probably the best way to kill those is like giving
Overloving 'em.
it too much water, too much
Man.
attention.
Some of those plants are just mean.
Yeah, some of them are like, just leave me alone.
So with that, and like through the years of the different types of plants, are there
Mhm.
some that like you just completely annoyed you? You're like, I won't mess with those.
Oh,
ever
yeah.
again?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
there's the cactus. I think it's called like rabbit's foot cactus or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
no, those are
If you like brush up against it or like barely even touch
Is
it,
that
the
the one that-
spines go into your fingers and they're like really fine.
they're tiny, like microscopic.
feel
You
it.
can't get them
It
out.
hurts. So
I think when I was in Las Vegas, I grabbed one because I was like, "There's no."
Yeah,
nails
it looks
in my whole
fuzzy.
hand.
Like it
Yeah.
looks.
Yeah.
They're really
I was little, I
beautiful.
was an idiot.
I think they're so beautiful, but yeah, we just couldn't do it anymore. We kept like brushing up beside it and stuff.
mhm. I
What's
stopped kind
another
of getting
one?
calatheas. Calatheas, they're in like the prayer plant family. And some prayer plants are like amaranthus and stuff like that. I think are decent, but calatheas I feel like can be a pain in the butt.
Yeah,
So I
they're
can't
What's
very
up?
difficult.
What do you mean by like prayer plant?
Prayer plant, they get the name prayer plant is because, like, let's say these are the leaves. Like a lot of the times, like maybe like in the evening, they'll kind of like close up, like praying
Oh,
hands,
okay.
and then they'll kind of like open up. And
That's cool.
They move a lot.
move
They're
a lot.
they're cool.
if you put like a time lapse on it, like throughout the day, like it's always like doing this.
Yeah.
But, like, to the naked eye, you don't see it, but they're like
Mhm.
moving.
Yeah.
amazing.
But high
They're
humidity.
beautiful,
If you
but-
give them the wrong kind of water, they'll freak out. Like I kind
Yeah,
of stopped getting those.
like
I mean, with a personality like that, you could be picky.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
And
right.
they are
and they're
beautiful.
really, really.
They
pretty.
look like oil painted. Like they look like
That's
they always
amazing.
look like someone painted like polka dots on it or something
Mhm.
crazy or like stripes.
Are they real shiny and stuff?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they can be for sure.
Yeah, they're really cool, but they need a lot of humidity. They need to be wet constantly, and like, yeah,
It's a lot of maintenance.
Yeah, a lot
it's
of
a
maintenance.
lot.
I'm
And
trying to
then,
think of other
like they're just
plants.
not fun to sell to people here because it's just so dry, and it's like
Yeah.
for us, we're here every day. Like we can water stuff all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
But the average person who like has a job outside of like
Mhm.
being at their house, like they're really difficult.
I think alocasia is another one that I've kind of stopped getting.
I don't like alocasia.
Because they're a lot of these plants like it's kind of like a perennial, so like kind of like year round they're growing in a happy plant year after year. But there's like annuals to where in the spring they'll come up and then they'll die, but like that base is still there and then they'll come back up and die and stuff like that throughout the year. Alocasia, I don't know if they're exactly an annual, but they behave like an annual to
Mhm.
where they'll grow and they'll look great and then eventually that will die. But like if you like keep that pot pretty much looking empty and dead, eventually new does come out of it.
Yeah.
So I stopped getting those because sometimes they would just be on my shelves and then die, and then it's an
Yeah,
empty
we just have a
pot.
ton in the back, like just
Someone's
like
sit
hope
there.
I hope this comes
Yeah,
back.
so I'm like, I'm not
Taking
gonna
up
get
a ton of
these anymore.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're tough. But it would be cool if you just had like one or two in your house.
Right.
But for us, like we need to be able to like display everything.
Yeah.
We kind of gave up on those. And I don't know if there's a science behind this, but I think they attract pests more than other plants. Like they almost always like would get some sort of infestation and no other plant like around it. So I don't know. There's got to be something to that, but I feel like alocasias are like pesty.
I feel like they're always
I don't know.
pesty.
They're difficult. I feel like there's always something wrong with them.
I was gonna ask, like, doing rare plants. Where's the
Mhm.
coolest place that you've gotten plants from? Or-
I mean, my wholesalers and stuff are like Ecuador is one, and then Indonesia is another. But there's a particular type of plant that I have over there. It's called a Stephania erectica, and it's I don't want to go too deep into all the whatever, but it's like this little bulb, and it's like a deciduous, so it grows like this vine with leaves in like the spring and summer, and then that dies, and then year after year that bulb grows, but that like vine comes and those are from Malaysia, and yeah, they're
Those
like
are super
super
cool.
cool because they want to be dry, but they need high humidity. And I don't know, they're very nuanced and very weird, and they look like little just avocados sticking out of the soil.
Yeah, that's what I was picturing.
Yeah,
They do, yeah.
But yeah, so I would say like that one from like Malaysia.
Yeah, those are
and-
fun too. Like if you do have a cabinet, because you don't have to like water it that much, but it likes that humidity. So
Mhm.
I feel like they're pretty. Like if you do have that set up, like those are easy and very weird. Like you'll never see those anywhere.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think like the weirdest stuff that we have. Probably the Stephania erectica is probably
that's
the weirdest.
right now.
And then it's funny too, because like a normal common house plant, you like learn where it's from, and you're like, oh, that's weird. Like snake plants, they're like an African kind of like savanna, like succulent.
Uh huh.
You know what I
It
mean?
kind of makes sense. With
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
so they're
So-
good in the heat and dry.
Yeah.
They're very versatile too. Like
Mhm.
I think the way they grow normally is like full sun.
Mhm.
But like he said, obviously can live in like a dark garage for like months.
Mhm.
So they're very versatile. That's what makes them such a like staple house plant.
Yeah. And then there's always like what's cool is like epiphytes. So epiphytes are plants that grow typically not like in soil, but like up on trees. So like there's a lot of orchids that are epiphytes. I was talking about anthuriums earlier. There's are epiphytes. Or also there's like the staghorn fern. So like that to where you see it's like on like a plank. So it's not in soil, it's just mounted on
Yeah.
a board,
I
and
was
then you
wondering
They can
about
just
put it
grow
up.
on
That's crazy.
things.
Yeah, so those are cool too because they have two growth patterns. They have like the fronds, which is like the leaves, and then they create that like brown like plating, and it like encompasses kind of like the root mass, but like
Yeah,
they
I was
also-
gonna say on the roots, like how would they?
yeah, they like grip onto like the trees and like rocks and stuff like
Mhm.
that, and they create that plating to kind of protect it.
Oh,
Hmm.
And then in nature, they get massive and like really big. And that plating up at the top creates this like shelf. And then the tree that's above it will produce like fruit or whatever. And that fruit falls on the shelf. And as it decays, that's like what fertilizes and feeds it. Because they
Yeah.
can't get it from the
That's
roots, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? So they like figured out a way to like,
Mm.
that's
oh, this
amazing.
tree drops fruit. So I'm going to put the plating till I can get the fertilizer from that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Nature wild enough.
Yeah,
it's crazy,
there's
man.
wild stuff.
So how do y'all normally take care of that one?
I'll take it off of the board.
Mhm.
I don't know for the video if you want to see it.
Yes,
well, I was gonna
yes,
say
wanna
I
see
can
it.
always
Oh, and
We
poster or whatever.
yeah we
Okay.
can film a bit of the shop
What
for
the
y'all.
heck?
Yeah.
That's oh
But
my
we'll just like
gosh.
put it in a little tray
Yeah, I'll
with
set it like
water.
this
Okay.
and fill it up with water, and then this is called sphagnum moss, but it's like kind of the medium that it's growing in.
Yeah.
That's
So this will like
amazing.
soak up that water and kind of just like
Yeah.
water the plant.
And sphagnum moss is really cool. It's used like in medical settings because it is like very sanitary. Like they'll put it on
Really?
wounds and stuff, but it
Really?
like
That's incredible.
it is just very resistant to any sort of bacteria. So you
Like
can keep
fungal
it
and
wet
stuff.
like constantly, and it's like super clean.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
honestly.
So there's it's kind of cool to just see, just like
I thought it was a skull at first.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, the
But
more you
yeah.
like learn about the plants, like there's like the carnivorous plants that they grow in conditions that the roots can't take up nutrients and stuff, so they evolved ways, kind of like that, to get their nutrients from like external means
to basically eat.
to like eat insects and
Things.
stuff, and that's how they get their fertilization. So like
Like the Venus.
Yeah,
Venus
fly
flytraps.
traps are actually native to like South Carolina.
What?
Isn't that crazy?
United
You would
States.
think that's the most like
Amazon.
Yeah.
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 You would think that's like the craziest plant from somewhere else. No, United States.
Wow.
And they evolved because it was like just nutrient deficient bogs. This
Yep.
plant like
So that was
figured
next
out how to
question.
grow in
Yep.
there and was like, I gotta get nutrients somehow, and evolved to just eat flies
that
and stuff.
evolution is crazy,
Dude,
It's I'm learning so much. Are those plants y'all would want to look into having here as well? Carnivorous plants?
Yeah,
I
we
have
have
a
them.
couple over there.
We have them every once in a while. They're also difficult. Like they need very specific, like they need to be in a bog situation with full sun.
Yeah.
And so like kind of this like little window area is like the only place for specifically fly traps. Like they are the hardest
Right.
carnivorous plant.
I'd say so.
So we kind of like we'll get like maybe a couple of those at a time. Like we never have a lot. But there are other carnivorous plants that are a lot easier to keep inside, like the pitcher plant. I don't know if y'all have ever
Yeah,
seen
I saw the
those.
picture of
Yeah.
We
that.
love those. They're super cool. But yeah, they like kind of
college.
grow the bells and like trap
Yeah.
stuff in them.
That's amazing.
Those are easy. Like
Isn't that the picture where they fly down in? And
Yeah,
they
Uh-huh.
test them
and it has
Yeah.
like a liquid in there that like
Just-
attracts them.
Yeah.
It's like sweet smelling, and they get down in there and get trapped, and this liquid like dissolves them.
So how often do y'all have people come in asking about fly traps? Do y'all get
Quite
Pretty
often.
often.
I would say
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
at least once
Pretty
a month.
often.
Like I'd say even more often than
If you want
that.
to hold that? I'll
Oh, yeah,
go
for
get
sure.
the-
Especially here in Amarillo, man. There's a lot of flies.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but fly traps, like she was saying, are kind of tricky. So like I like the Nepenthes, which are like the pitcher plants. She's gonna go get one. The thing about the pitcher plants is that they need a lot of light and stuff in order to kind of create those like big pitchers. So right now this is kind of like a small baby one.
Trying
Oh my
to
god.
like grow some pictures on the end, but it's like a baby. But eventually it'll have like these big bulbs hanging
Mhm.
off
Yeah.
of it.
So like each individual leaf has like the beginning stages of like what those will be.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I
You
wish
know
we
what I
had a like a mature
And how,
one.
Trying to mature
how long
more.
does it normally take for them to mature? Or
It
just depends.
It really depends on their conditions and like how happy they are. So I've started. This was in Fort Worth, but I started one about that size, and then probably within like a span of a year, it was like this long, and it
grow pretty fast.
they can go really fast. It was in like a sunroom with like a lot of light, and like the pictures like that one, like they weren't really there, and then the pictures almost grew to the size of my hand.
Oh my gosh.
They were huge and like deep red and like
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Like they're one of those things like I feel like they are a hardy plant. Like it's easy to keep them alive, but it's not always easy to like get it to constantly produce the bulbs.
Mhm.
Sometimes like especially in the winter, like they just have a hard time. I don't know if they like it's inside, so you would think it doesn't know, but I feel like it knows.
Yeah.
Like it's winter.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
So how many like flies? Do they get a lot of insects, or is it just like
Yeah.
like one?
It's probably dependent on like like I bet in nature, like where they're from, I bet it's like they get a ton.
Mhm.
I
Like
bet
outside, I bet
indoors. Yeah, I bet so. But like with Venus flytraps, like people say that like if you have it inside, you really just need to give like one fly every like I don't know, few months. Like they don't need to eat a ton because it is like
It takes a while for it to.
to
Yeah.
break it down. And like I said, it is like a fertilizer, so like you don't need to be like fertilizing your plants all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like one of those things where they kind of just get a little bit and can kind of go a long way with that.
But we do like at one of the events we did, we brought those, and literally like all the flies were like around our table. So I
Oh,
know it attracts them. Like I've always heard that, but like I saw it with my own eyes, dude.
that's
They were like
crazy.
all around us. It's kind of making us look bad.
Stinky plants.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's cool because like with those pitcher plants, like there's different we're talking about like evolution, like the different niches. So like some pitcher plants, like will, you know, like those are like flying insects. We'll get into them, but there's particular pitcher plants that they evolved alongside this like little rodent called like a shrew, and that shrew like every morning will climb up. And like there's like a lid like right above the little bell that it drops down, and that lid, the plant will secrete this like laxative kind of like sugar, and that shrew licks it up, but it makes the shrew go to the bathroom, and it goes to the bathroom in the bell, and that's the like the sole fertilizer that the pitcher plant gets is from this particular shrew.
So it has like a symbiotic relationship with the shrew.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, man. I feel like the more you talk about plants, the more it's like, dude, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. Yeah.
Plants are weird.
They're so weird.
I think
Freaks.
that one microorganism didn't know what it was getting into.
Yeah, right.
It's
Like I want to be I wouldn't want to be the poop plant. You know what I mean?
It's kind of crazy how resilient they are and adaptive and like.
Yeah,
they learn
100%.
Yeah, just life is crazy.
Just
Life in all its forms is crazy.
we can adapt and and that's how you get stronger with like doing certain stuff. You know, like. I don't know. Like there's like, I was watching this thing about fish, this particular fish called a sunfish, and people make fun of it because it's like really stupid looking and like really dumb. And like, it's like, you know, a lot of fish don't eat it because like the mass that it accumulates is just like not good. It's just like fleshy tissue, gross. But it like evolved in this very specific way to be able to like go down super far and eat jellyfish, which like not a lot of fish eat jellyfish because they're like, will sting you. But this like particular fish found out a way to like do this very specific niche thing and like thrive in this way that no other fish would want to do. You know what I mean? In a way. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah.
His jelly.
Wow.
That's, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I don't know.
And this is what we do all day. Like people just came in to get a plant, and then we start talking like this.
How are so informative?
Yeah, I'm so impressed.
I have a
But
computer.
it's fun though. Like we really are into like the science of it.
Yeah.
And, like
Well, that's good. Though.
we're true hobbyists.
Yeah.
So we really enjoy like what we do and talking about what we do.
Yeah.
This was the only hobby my mom had, you know, growing plants and taking care of plants.
Yeah.
It went so far, she took all her furniture out the living room.
She had to have more room.
Put shears up on the storm window, and now don't y'all bump into my plant. You got them all lined up against the thing. I'm like, man, we can't even go in the living room and watch movies and nothing because they done took over the house.
Those
You
are
better leave my
babies.
plants alone.
Yeah.
Did you put some mayonnaise on them today, Mark? So I'm thinking I'm just doing it to make them shine, but all the time she said I was giving them vitamins.
Yeah, for sure.
Please.
Yeah.
I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know you could put
Yeah, there's all kinds of weird stuff people swear by or
Yeah.
do or whatever.
It's like coffee grounds or eggshells or
I've heard
whatever.
of those.
You know.
Uh-huh.
Mayonnaise. That's
Yeah.
a new one.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So I thought I was just making them look pretty.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I got him now. They do look good, don't they, Mark? They take care of my babies. I mean, they all lined up all across the living room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't grow up with living room furniture.
Yeah. See, that's so funny because I grew up like no one in my family had plants. So like when I got into plants, like it was just me kind of like figuring it out, you know, by myself. So, but then I hear stories like that where it's like, oh, my grandma had like her whole living room was plants, so that's how I got into it and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, I love that.
And people
Plants just kind of do something for our environment. They
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
calming,
for
it's-
sure.
It's pretty, like, I don't know, like,
my mom,
I'm not really a plant guy, but
Yeah,
I'm
my
like,
mom
Yeah.
loved plants, but you know, she wanted you to love them too, but you wasn't getting one of hers. Sometimes she'll cut a piece off and get it somebody. There you go. Or
Yeah.
she'll say, "I pick you up one." You ain't getting nothing out of her.
Yeah. That's funny, man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, my mom like always had plants, and I
Mhm.
remember like she gave me a few when I first moved out, and I killed them, and they were like old plants, dude. I was like, "Oh, it's so
You're dead.
And
You know?
I thought like, oh, I just don't have a green thumb, like blah blah. But I just what I was doing, and
Yeah.
the more you learn, like it's just like anything.
Yeah.
Like so.
That gives me hope because my plant's kind of suffering right now. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, we gotta get
You
your
suffer
plant
from
on track.
loneliness,
Once
man.
you get
Yeah.
it figured out, though, like you'll be good with a lot of different kinds of plants. Like that's the thing. That's the fun thing about it. Like you get good at taking care of one plant, and it just opens the door for like so many other species
Yeah,
of
100%.
plants. But then there will still be some that are like daunting that you're like, oh, I don't know
Yeah.
what that
Not
one
ready
is.
for it.
But yeah,
Not ready for that. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, send us a photo of yours. and
Yeah.
We'll look at
Yeah.
it. We'll try to think.
It's like turning brown. I'm like,
Save
oh,
Charlie.
no.
Do you remember what it was?
That you got?
Yeah.
You had a pothos, right? Wasn't it like the viney, leafy one?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure.
I think it was a pothos. I think it was like a golden pothos.
I think I got a picture of
I
it.
couldn't remember.
But yeah, like you were saying, like informative and stuff. Like I don't know. Obviously, we're biased because it's us doing what we do and stuff, and we try to be helpful and stuff. But I feel like other like places like garden centers and stuff like that, it's like, all right, here's the plant, and like sell it. But like, I feel like we have like a vested interest in like really trying to make sure people like learn about it, and like so it's like
Yes.
set up to thrive rather than just being like, okay, that was a cool sale that we
You're just
did.
doing it to
Yeah.
fail.
Yeah,
Not trying
for
to
sure.
just make a quick buck or
Y'all-
like, oh,
y'all-
they'll
I
have
like
to come
that.
back
Y'all
and
got
buy
the
another one.
mindset, the opposite of a mechanic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean with mechanic, it's like you have one car and you're like, I want you to come back in, but I'm like, you can have like with plants, you have like thousands of plants, you know what I mean? Like come back
Yeah.
and get a new one, you know, rather
I
than
think
like
the odds of people like wanting to get more plants like increase when they feel like they're good at them and they feel like they
Mhm.
know what they're doing versus like they keep killing it. Like eventually, like I've been there, I've been that person. Like you just give up.
$30
Yeah.
on this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You just give up eventually or decide like I never want to spend like a lot of money on plants. I'll only buy like these $12 like dying
that are
plants.
dying and then they
You ever
die.
run into plant blamers? Oh, that died because of Chris.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're the owner. You're the reason why.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be
Especially-
protected.
It's
Yeah.
so funny. Any sort of office setting, like if someone's like, I'm getting this for my office, like I always make sure and tell people, like, make sure everyone in there knows that only one person waters this.
Mhm.
Because,
they all try to watch.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
that happens all the
Like,
time.
oh, they're not good at taking care of their plants. I'll take care of them. And
Yeah.
it's like,
and
why
it
is it
gets
sopping wet,
watered
you know?
6 times in 1 week. And
Yeah.
you're like, it
Just drowning
died. I
it.
don't
Yeah.
know what happened. I'm like, I know what happened. You don't even have to tell me. I know someone else watered that right after you did.
So, are there any you'd recommend? Like, because I know some people get like, I don't know, the bigger plants are the ones fine because some of them benefit like your like breathing out oxygen
Yeah.
or
Right.
purifying the air.
Yeah.
Are there any that you would recommend for people?
yeah, people
Things like
usually
that?
say like snake plants are really good at that.
Yeah, I think they have the most like output.
Yeah. What I've seen, it's kind of hard because, like, obviously there's like studies and like science behind it and stuff like that. But I feel like there's like also just like a lot of misinfo when it comes to just like, oh, I think this, so I'm gonna like say it. You know what I mean? But I really think that just the amount of foliar mass that you have. So like the bigger the plant with like the bigger leaves will produce more
Mhm.
oxygen
Okay.
rather than
Versus-
like this small plant is super good at it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think just the bigger
The
and the
bigger the
more
leaf.
you have
Really?
is the better way
Yeah.
to
And
get that.
I
You
think
know what
the
I mean?
reason like snake plant is considered like the best for like its size is because the whole thing is a leaf.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like so it has no like stems or any other like part to it. The whole thing is a leaf. So
Yeah.
like per capita, like that's gonna put out
Yeah.
the most.
Yeah,
oxygen,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Basically.
Yeah. But it's like, okay, I want a snake plant that's this tall because it's good at oxygen, but I'm not going to get this like giant leafy plant because it's not good at it. You know what I mean? Like,
then it
yeah.
kind
go
of
with
like
the
it
giant leafy
scales
plant.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you kind of notice the air when you walk in, like just the quality?
I don't.
No.
Maybe because we're
Yeah.
just in here so much,
Okay.
but other people like they come in and
I think
like,
Yeah.
it's a little better in here. Yeah.
We also, so like, we try to keep it a little warmer than I think other places would keep their place. So like 72, 73.
Mhm.
And then we have the humidifiers running. So it's like more like warm and humid. And I feel like that really
I think that kind of helps you feel like you can breathe better a little more.
Yeah.
But
Then
I
like the
don't know.
dry air and stuff
I've
like that. You know
never-
what I
I don't
mean?
know if there's
We're
like a
gonna
little
step outside.
oxygen meter thing you
Oh,
can like
yeah.
try, but
Oh, this place is hot.
Look, they're gonna be like, it's time for y'all to go. We're gonna like, don't make us go back out there.
That's funny, man.
Oh man.
No, I was gonna say because I've been in some greenhouses and they're
Mhm.
usually like kind of hot, like warm, hot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
But I do love like in some of those greenhouses, like they have the drip wall. Like, have
Oh,
you ever seen
oh,
that?
yeah.
Like like it just feels so nice. Like the air's coming through it, and it's like that humidity,
But
and
it
it's
sounds
cold.
like it's an intenseness to it too.
Mhm,
they're
definitely.
really issue,
Definitely.
hot and humid in a lot of those greenhouses and stuff.
Yeah. But I mean,
Yeah.
you know, like I was saying, these plants are tropical plants. Like that's like where they do the best is like humid, warm, you know, environments. And
Yeah, so
You
we
know.
try to replicate that the best we can without it getting like uncomfortable.
uncomfortable, which
And, like,
sometimes it gets
and
uncomfortable.
sometimes it's uncomfortable.
Like if we do a class with like 12 people and it's at 73 with the humidifier running,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
like,
man.
It gets a little, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it gets a
But
little
it does go to show like how much these can like adapt to just being inside a house in Amarillo.
Yeah.
Like you don't like most of these plants you do not need these humidifiers and stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
But we just do have plants that also like that, so it helps.
Yeah. I always tell people too, like obviously these are from like places around the world and stuff, but like they've been cultivated and like specifically, you know, grown for this kind of reason. So like, you know, there might be a plant in here that like there's another plant right next to it in its natural habitat that like would not like the indoor, you know, they couldn't like handle it, you know what I mean? But like
Mhm.
everything in here is practically like being selected to be good in
Yeah.
a indoor houseplant environment, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like I'm not like throwing a lot of stuff at you that's like not gonna do good. Like pretty much everything I have is already
Subject to
been.
thrive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
It's,
It's
kind
already
of cool
been-
how they use like selective breeding to
yeah,
Definitely.
take
definitely.
plants that
Yeah.
are like naturally like from Indonesia, hot, humid,
Mhm.
Yeah.
survive or something.
Yeah, then put it in like it's like okay, this will do good like in an indoor house.
Yeah,
You know,
and
kind
it
of-
is cool that we like have like growing operations because a lot of this stuff like you know otherwise would be like poached from the wild and
Oh, wow.
stuff,
Yeah.
which
Mhm.
would not be great. And obviously, like they would have a hard time like if you took a plant like poached from the wild and like brought it inside, it would die. Like
Yeah.
it
You
would
can't
be
adapt.
just used to how it's grown. But a lot of
Yeah.
this stuff is grown like in a greenhouse, like
Mhm.
inside, basically.
Yeah, the like during COVID, the plant market like really exploded because people were home, like kind of bored, looking for like new hobbies and stuff.
Mhm.
So like during COVID, like yeah, it just really exploded, and kind of during that time there was a lot of poaching that was happening because you know people were getting okay, what's like the next rare crazy thing that no one
Mhm.
else has? What's the next rare crazy thing to where
Yeah.
people like in you know like Central America or like you know Asia and stuff like that were just taking stuff, and it was becoming an issue. So that was like what's cool about the plant community is like obviously if you're into plants like you do care about like the environment and plants and stuff like
You should
that.
care
So
about like ecosystems not being
yeah, so the community
disrupted.
kind of like really came together, I feel like at one point and was like stop getting from these like shady places and like only kind of do reputable sources.
Mhm.
So I feel like with indoor plants, even within the rare trade, it's all about trying to be like as ethical as you can.
Yeah.
We were talking about the Stephania rectica,
Mhm.
like the weird bulb looking ones from Malaysia. There was a issue of those being poached. And they were saying for like a long period of time that like if you have one that's like bigger than like the size of your fist, it was probably poached because they take so long that like if it was grown in a greenhouse, like they you know they didn't have them for you know periods of
There wouldn't have
time
been that amount of time to
in
grow
like
it that
circulation
big.
ethically, you know what I mean? So they're saying like if it was like bigger than your hand, it was probably poached. So like you should not
Mhm.
get stuff like
And
that.
those
So
take a long time to grow. So it's just one of those things like I don't know, it's one thing like kind of taking like ivies and stuff like that that grow really fast out of the wild, but something like that, it's like I don't know, something comparable, I guess, is like the peyote cactus. Like those
Oh.
take years and years and
Mhm.
years to grow. So like kind of, and people for obvious reasons will poach those.
I don't know why.
I don't know. I'm not sure why, but people love those.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. You think 'cause when you think poached, you think
Yeah,
of like
animals.
animals,
Animals,
I don't know
right?
anything like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anything
That's
can be like
amazing.
that, really.
Wow.
I'm sure, like rock collectors.
Oh,
I mean,
gosh.
I mean, I know like at PD you can't take rocks and
Yeah.
stuff like
I
that.
have
You
a
know what I
friend, He
mean?
got like fined because he carved his name.
Yeah, that's a big
Yeah.
deal too.
Only
Into a 1,000-year-old rock tree.
It's kind of- It's not funny, but it's kind of funny because like, so here, what's like rare and cool is like stuff that's from like Central America and like I keep on saying like Asia and stuff like that. But like the same thing that kind of happened in the United States where like the plant market blew up also happened like in China and places like that. And it was funny because like here we're wanting these like tropical leafy plants, but like in China what was really hot was like these particular types of succulents that are native here.
Yeah.
So people
Like a
would
literal
like
cactus.
yeah, so people would like come from there where we think their stuff is cool, and they would be like, "Man, y'all stuff is so cool."
Yeah.
And then they were going to like prison and stuff because they'd fly over here and like steal stuff from the
Yeah,
wild.
just like
Oh my
pick some
gosh.
weeds
Oh
and
my
shit.
God.
Yeah, that are like
tumbleweed or
To
something.
us,
Yeah,
we're
tumbleweed,
like,
exactly.
we're like, that's a ragweed.
Yeah, you don't
like
want
it's
that.
beautiful.
it's beautiful. Yeah, it was funny.
That's crazy. I didn't know that was happening.
But that
Yeah.
can alter a whole ecosystem.
Yeah, 100%. You know what I mean? And like,
Definitely. It can get out of like consumerism, like as we know, like gets out of hand very fast.
Mhm.
So
Just because something's hot and popular.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's-
yeah.
so yeah, it is just so funny. It's like, yeah, what they got we want, and then what we have like, oh, this is
Mhm.
awful, and they
Yeah.
want it real bad, you know? So
wow.
yeah.
Yeah, like we've had people come in that are like from like Costa Rica, Brazil,
Wow.
and they're like, yeah, these are weeds. Like these just grow in our backyard. These
No,
just grow
nothing
on
crazy.
everything. Yeah.
It's like, I'm selling it for $75.
Yeah, and then like or
Right.
just like or like prairie
It's
flowers and
nothing.
stuff
Yeah.
that just we mow down every spring.
Uh-huh.
They're like, that's amazing. Like
hmm
so it is kind of funny.
And we mirroring what they saying. No, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
hmm
So I was gonna say, so do y'all see yourself like just growing and getting bigger and bigger? Like, are you content with where you guys are?
You know, it's nice. The size of the shop is great because it's just the two of us. People do ask like if we're hiring and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, we can barely pay ourselves.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of tricky, you know. It would be nice to eventually like bring somebody on. But we've talked about like if we do bring somebody on, we can't just like pay minimum wage. It would have to be.
Yeah, we just
We'd have to
be able to
do
take
them
care of
good. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like we just need to get to this a space to where it would make sense for us to do that.
Mhm.
And then also, like I said, sizing up. Like we would love to do it, but just the fact that it's us right now, it's like this is manageable for us. If we were to
Mhm.
expand, like it might start becoming unmanageable.
Right. Get
So
overwhelmed.
Yeah.
yeah. So at what point do we like being the cute boutique, small indoor plant shop?
And then looking like Jumanji at some point.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And at what
exactly.
point do we need to like scale up what we're doing, and then so that's we definitely see ourselves like scaling up and being bigger.
That's good.
But then
Yeah.
after that, like I don't know, like we don't have a lot of like super long term goals, I guess.
I like that y'all just enjoy doing it. I think.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
just do
like,
enjoy
you know,
doing it, and I want to make it like as comfortable as possible for other people, and we want to be able to do the bonsai and stuff. So definitely like a bigger space eventually. It'd be cool to have like a patio situation to be
Mhm.
able to do like events or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I don't know. I would
Yeah.
love to get more creative with it, but like as far as like super long-term goals, like not really. Like we're just seeing
taking it
kind of how
moment.
it goes.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say all your plants look really healthy.
Oh,
Yeah,
sweet.
Thank
they look
you.
good.
We
Yeah,
try.
we do try. Oh yeah, all the ones that aren't healthy, we
Oh,
throw in the bag. So.
Just
Don't
the
go
guy-
back.
Not for the
don't go
public
back.
eye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like the side streets here in Amarillo. I probably shouldn't have said that.
But yeah, I'll be like pruning stuff out here, and customers come in. It's like, oh, you can just like cut off dead leaves. Like, yeah, that
Yeah,
leaves
that's what I
die.
was
You know what
I
I
didn't know
mean?
that.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's better,
Yeah.
I think, to cut it off because it's still like putting
That's what I've
energy
heard.
into this
Mhm.
dying leaf.
I was
Like,
gonna ask, how do you tell if it's gonna like be satisfied, like if it's gonna save the leaf or if it's just gone already?
a lot of times if a leaf is turning yellow, it's already too late.
It's already-
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's
Like
suffocating.
I had some leaves that
Yeah.
were brown, like they're like
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
If it's like crispy around the sides, like you could kind of save it for
Okay.
sure.
But if like the whole leaf is like turned yellow or is like, you know, dying back and stuff like that, like
Just
it's pretty much already too late.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah, so
So it's better just
But
to cut it
on
off.
plants
I
that
would
there
say so.
is like browning on the outsides, like I'll like cut around it.
Yeah,
so,
that's
you
what
know,
mom used to have.
No one knows.
Yeah. You know, and like I don't know, there is kind of debate where it's like, okay, do you want your plant to be so pristine and so like immaculate and perfect looking? But like if you were to look at a lot of these like in their natural habitats, they're gonna be
Yeah, they'd be
kind of
messed
rough.
up.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they're not gonna be perfect leaves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're gonna be, you know, a little tattered and torn. So like at what point are you trying to like like overdo it, and what
Mhm.
point should you just like accept that this is like a living
Yeah.
thing that's gonna get some like wear on it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and for us being retail, like we definitely put a lot of work into like just making these look like
Good.
as presentable as
Presentable, yes.
possible. But like some of these, like if we just had at our house and they were kind of like browning or just going through normal stuff that they go through, like we wouldn't try to. I don't know, like it is natural and normal for
Yeah.
plants to lose leaves, to
Mhm.
like parts of it to die, stuff like that. But we just try to make sure like these look like people want to buy them right then and there.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, exactly right.
It's kind of like the grocery store. You go and see some vegetables or fruit that have
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I'm not gonna buy this.
Yeah.
But
It's just good.
But it's
perfect.
fine.
yeah, it's completely
Yeah.
fine. Yeah. Yeah, it is weird.
And people throw out like millions of dollars of
Yeah.
like, food
Mhm.
Yeah,
because
it's
they're just a little
crazy.
brown or a little bruised or something.
Yeah, somebody gave me like a box like this big full of like expired chips, but it was like the Best By date and it was only like a few days out. So like I pretty much got like a giant
Yeah.
bag of chips
Yeah.
and we've been eating on that. And
because
it's
they
like,
couldn't like
dude,
technically sell them, you know.
Yeah.
So much
Yeah.
preservatives in them. They'll be fine.
You know what I'm saying?
like
Probably
they're
last a
good.
couple
Yeah, they're
years.
exactly the service.
Yeah.
You're good for another few
Yeah.
months at least.
Oh yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, so yeah, trying to balance that out of
Yeah.
displayable, but also like I said, it's normal.
I just love being in here. I just feel like
It's-
Thank you.
Yeah,
I feel at peace.
Calming,
appreciate
yeah.
It is.
I'm gonna be getting new inventory soon, so like right now, like I know it looks full, but like to me, it's like empty. Like I want it to like fill out more. So now that it's getting warmer, I'm able to be like importing and getting more stuff, as I was saying.
Yeah.
So within
That's
the next,
another thing with importing. Like you have to make sure the weather's gonna be okay, because if it's too cold, like they can die
That's
so easily.
Yeah.
yeah.
Even
So
just when they deliver them and like drop them off outside, like you have to be there.
Ooh,
Like
yeah.
you can't,
That's
you know.
crazy.
So wintertime, we really don't get a lot of stuff coming in. So we're about to hit that point where
It's gonna be.
we can really start getting more stuff.
Yep.
Which is exciting.
which is exciting.
I was gonna ask, do y'all guys have any specials going on right now, or any?
We need to be better
Promos.
about
Mhm.
that. We don't really ever.
Yeah, we need to be better about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we definitely, it would be cool to do specials on like some of these like lower down plants, like these 6-inch like pothos and stuff like that.
It's kind of like
Try
just
to
more
get rid of
common
some
and
of
stuff.
those.
Yeah.
But it is funny because like I don't like necessarily do specials, but a lot of times if people come in and they're like, "Oh, I want this and I want this," it's like, "Oh, if you get this one, I'll I'll do
We
it."
are,
Yeah,
we are
yeah.
That's cool.
haggleable.
That's awesome.
Get it out the door.
Yeah, so like, you know, per transaction, I might hook you up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's
Kind of one of those things.
not like a set like 25% off
it's
all
like-
plants or
Yeah.
anything. You know
It's
what I
like
mean?
sometimes we'll have a price tag on a plant because it looked a certain way when we got it, and then like sometimes stuff happens where it loses leaves and stuff, and I'm just looking at it and I'm like, no, this is not a $30 plant. Like, let me just cut you a deal,
Mm.
or vice versa. Like they're like we got it when it was really small, and it's like $18, and we've had it for like a year, and
And
it's
it's
like super
prestige.
nice and
Mhm.
stuff, and I'm like. $18.
Yeah.
That's the
Ah,
price on it.
that's what it says.
Yeah,
Yeah, we-
it hurts you a little bit. You're
Yeah,
like, oh,
we just sold a Monstera for 40, and
It's
it was
huge.
massive. It grew and it was like really nice. And then they like
Every day we were like, we need to change that tag.
Oh, man,
but
finally
someone
did it.
caught it.
somebody grabbed it and was like, "Man, $40 is great." I was like, "Yeah, it is good, isn't it?" Like,
Yeah.
The cops ain't gonna follow me when I leave here now.
That's so funny. But yeah, like yeah.
Do you find like that people are more interested in adult plants that are already like grown, or
I find people want smaller plants and then grow it out themselves. It is like, obviously it's like very visually striking to see like a big plant that's like robust and full, and you're like, wow, that's awesome.
You don't have to do all the.
Yeah, exactly. But I really think that people like to view small plants and then see the potential that it has,
Okay.
Mhm.
and they want to bring it to that point. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Especially if they're first starting out too, like it's less responsibility and money to get like a
Nope.
We're not Dash, it's Spark.
Oh no, we
no,
didn't.
not us. Sorry.
DoorDash came by. All right.
Not us.
Yeah. Get out of here.
It's like, wait a minute, what do you have?
Yeah, that's funny.
Um,
Oh my goodness.
anyways, what I forgot what I was even saying.
Oh yeah, he threw me off.
Yeah, me too.
About to go chew that guy out.
Oh yeah, small plants growing
yeah.
it big.
Oh yeah.
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 But we will randomly get hit with like a person that went all over town and are specifically looking for big plants, and they're like, I'll take them all. Like I feel like we'll have big plants in here for months and no one's like looking for that, and like one single person will come in here like, I need to
Yeah.
furnish a whole office. I have like this whole thing I need to do. I'll take them all. Like
That's crazy.
that
Yeah.
happens quite a bit with
I feel like
us.
yeah, that's always the case with big plants. It's like all in one go, and then like everything else is like individual transactions here
Yeah.
and there, kind of stuff.
That's usually
Wow.
how that goes.
But here, it's obviously hard to have big plants. Like I can't
Yeah,
have
there's
big
not a
plants
lot
in
of
here
places
all
to
the
put 'em.
time.
Yeah.
We're pretty limited on
You can
that.
only have
So
like a few at a time, but
mhm.
yeah, when they go, they are gone.
I like those leaves.
This one?
Yeah, the big one.
Yeah, those are the Anthurium veitchii that we're talking about.
Yeah,
It's
that's
called
a very sought after plant.
yeah, they call it
actually.
king Anthurium because it gets so big. Like in the ideal environments and greenhouses and stuff, the leaves can be like longer than like 6 feet. Like it can be like
Oh my
longer
gosh.
than you.
Fine.
Uh huh.
Scary.
Fine.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're insane.
Yeah, that, and then there's a plant over there called Spiritus Sancti that does that, but we have this baby one, and then it's kind of crazy because like within the same genus of plants, there can be an Anthurium that the leaves get this big, and then there can be an Anthurium that the leaves are like over 6 feet long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, honestly, how it all.
Yeah, here's like that veitchii like in the wild.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
yeah.
those
You just covered
leaves
yourself
are
up with
huge,
it.
Like,
like the
your
size of
house,
me.
just like,
Yeah.
I was
like-
thinking about one of them things Gilligan be sleeping in.
Yeah.
Oh,
that?
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Gilligan's
That's
Island,
funny.
y'all know what that is?
I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always out there. He said, Skipper, I'm going to sleep. And he lay out on that thing. What the hell is those
Yeah,
things
those
called?
big leaf things.
That's crazy.
I don't even know.
But yeah, those are like a lot of these in the wild are like so cool. Huge, massive.
They just like cut them up.
Yeah.
hmm
And you like, yeah, a lot of those obviously in the wild are like so old. And then you have just like a little baby version. And
hmm
you're like, maybe it'd be cool like if we kept that alive for like the next 30 years. I can't
Man.
imagine like how
Mhm.
big that would be. But it's always sad like that could die within
Yeah.
like what if we keep it alive
Yeah.
for like 20 years and it dies like that?
Man, that's what sucks
That
about
would be
like bonsai as well that we were talking about. Like, people like for example, like up in the Pacific Northwest, like there's like a lot of bonsai nurseries up there because just like the conditions are like really good for it, like humid and kind of wet and stuff. This was a few years ago, but they had this like weird like out of pocket like weather event to where every day was over 100 degrees for like a month, and it was like super abnormal, and like there was like nurseries that lost like trees that are like 40 50 60
Oh, no.
years old that are like they've been cared for forever, but then just like this like 1 week of the year was weird and it's
Yeah.
gone. You know what I
That's
mean?
rough.
And that's why
It's so
bonsai is also
delicate.
tricky too.
Yeah.
Like you have plants for years and it's like, man, some freak something happened and now it's gone.
Especially here in Amarillo.
Yeah.
Oh
so
god,
random.
it'd be tough.
See, that's why I want to do outdoor stuff, but like in Fort Worth, it was easy kind of to do outdoor tropical.
The
I mean,
weather was more like consistent.
you know,
Here,
bonsai.
they got
Here
more
it's
control.
rough.
Freezing.
You don't know what
Yeah.
you're
Smell.
gonna get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fluctuates here real bad.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that's why it's.
It's like one of those things. Like I don't know if we want to try to get people into that.
And they
I
go,
know,
yeah, it's
that's-
really
Set
hard
them up
here.
for
Sorry.
failure.
Yeah.
So we really want to try like indoor or like tropical trees that do okay inside, because that would be easier to like climate control like, what
Yeah,
they need
exactly.
and stuff.
I was gonna ask, what's y'all's oldest plant that y'all have had? If y'all have had plant like one plant,
Yeah,
for
that
the whole-
we've
We've had the
had.
whole time?
longest, maybe that one that's cut up, but like it barely has any green on it.
Yeah, it's
Is that
funny.
the Florida?
Florida
Ghost.
Ghost. Yeah, it's funny
It might
because
be that.
it got really big and then I cut it up and it
Mhm.
didn't like where I cut it, but now it's growing again. It's hard to tell. I can show y'all here
We
later
have
on.
cut that plant so much for years and years.
wow.
I think we've had that one the longest.
That one we've had for a long time.
Even out of your personal collection too.
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
was a part of my personal
Yeah, I
collection.
think
so
we've
was
had that
the,
for like 5 or 6 years.
5 or 6 years. That
maybe.
Vichii that we were talking about just then, that's also been in my personal collection for a few years.
Wow.
That Bird of Paradise. I'm trying to think of all the stuff that we have like in Fort Worth.
Yeah, we have sold most of it.
We've sold
but
most of it, sadly, but like
Was it hard transporting all the plants?
Yeah.
From there to
We had to
Yeah.
get a whole U-Haul
Oh.
to do it.
yeah, I feel like we could have gotten like the medium-sized U-Haul,
Mm-hmm.
but transporting all the plants, we had to get the largest
Yeah, we
U-Haul.
had to get the biggest one.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so like half of it was plants.
Oh
and,
wow.
It was
and
stressful.
only out of all the plants that I had, only one died.
Oh wow.
Really?
So it was,
Yeah, it was
That's
pretty
actually-
good.
it was
Pretty good.
it was really good.
It's like best case scenario.
It was.
Yeah, we drove a long way with all of those plants.
That's amazing.
And it was like, no, it wasn't hot when we. It
No,
was like
it was
February, huh?
yeah, because we got this building March 1st. It was March 1st.
Yeah.
So I mean that's coming up.
Luckily, it wasn't hot.
That's close.
Yeah. So like our anniversary is May, but we got the building in March.
Yeah.
And it took us those few months to kind of get everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
when
you
we-
just moved all those plants from Dallas to here?
Yep,
Like, boom, boom,
Just
boom.
boom, boom, yeah.
Oh
And then
my
like
gosh,
we
that's a lot.
like the first few months we weren't like open to the public, but we did the terrarium classes if people like booked an appointment online. So we have done those like from the beginning.
Mhm.
But
Those
we
are
were
so
like
cool. I need to-
eventually
yeah, I
we'll
need
be
to
like
do one. I'm
open.
We need to do
Yeah, y'all
Yeah,
can-
you
I'll-
should.
I'll-
It's
I'll do
fun.
it.
Little terrarium.
It's fun. We teach you how to take care of it and everything. So
Give you a care guide and all that kind of stuff.
That's
And
cool.
yeah, it is
Oh,
fun.
good one, good one.
And it's like we were saying, bonsai is kind of daunting. These are like pretty like straightforward and easy. Like we have like kids do the classes and stuff, so it's like
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
we
know.
we can handle it.
You
I
can do
believe
it.
in
It's
y'all.
not
You know?
I don't know about smarter than fifth grade.
but yeah, decorating it is really fun. Like you get to, I don't know, just be very expressive with it. Everyone's always turns out different. That's the
Mhm.
coolest part about it. Like you'd think it would get kind of boring. Like we've done hundreds of these classes, but I've never seen one terrarium like look the same.
That's so cool.
Yeah, they're always like unique. Always laugh too, because like I don't know. Usually, like I said, like indoor houseplants is kind of like a female dominated kind of thing. So like sometimes like the wife and the daughter will come in and like bring the husband, and the husband's kind of like, oh, this is dumb. What are we doing? You know. And then I always,
He's all into it.
I was gonna say, I always laugh because by
Always.
the end, when it gets to this part, they're like, "Oh, that would look good here, and we should
Yeah.
put this, and oh, put this moss right
Yeah.
here," and like that doesn't work at all. You need to add that. You know what I mean? So I always I always think that's so funny.
I think terrariums are a really fun way to get into plants because you just see that time and time again. Like there will be someone who's a part of the class that is like, this is just not my thing, and by the end of it, they're like, I want to make one. This is
yeah,
fun.
so cool.
Yeah, I think yeah. Which we need to restock. Like I said, last weekend was Valentine's weekend, and that was I think the busiest weekend we've had so
Yeah,
far.
it was
Wow.
like
Yeah, I
a
was gonna
record
ask,
weekend for
I
Uh-huh.
us.
don't know because that'd be a good Valentine's. Day.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's great.
I feel like the best that like we do is Valentine's and Mother's Day.
That's
Mhm.
Really?
Like those two are like the
Those
the
weekends,
biggest
like, we have
hits.
to prepare ourselves.
Yeah.
Like everything has to
So
be
you got another
tip
big one
top.
coming up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah, which you like. I was gonna say as you can tell, but like we're kind of low on a lot of stuff right now.
Yeah, we need to
because of
restock a lot.
This last weekend,
I was gonna ask for Valentine's. Do they usually bring their girlfriend in, or do they like kind of?
Yeah, it's more of like a date collaborative
yeah,
thing
it's
that they
usually
do.
a date thing. Which this Valentine's Day, like we actually have more like families, which was kind of strange
That's
because
Yeah.
usually it's like just two people type of thing.
We put like rose petals out, and we put like flowers.
Yeah, we
and
try to make it
put-
look all
Oh, that's-
romantic.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
And people are like here with their sister.
wow.
Like it's Valentine's Day. What's going
Yeah.
on?
Doing here?
Yeah. Last year we also tried to do like food and like strawberries and stuff,
Mhm.
and it really sucked because like we put money into it and like worked hard to do it, and then those frogs that eat the flightless fruit flies. Well, sometimes those flightless fruit flies will spontaneously know how to fly.
Oh, God.
And like
Which is super. It doesn't happen a lot.
it doesn't happen often, but one time it was on last Valentine's Day. We had all this food out, the only time we ever have food, and I'm like, I need to feed the frogs. And I open up the container, and all these flies come out and goes all over the food.
They knew.
Yeah, it was
They're
like
They're
And I don't think
Why?
that's happened to us.
Still
I think that's
waiting.
the only time that's happened.
yep.
to
It was
us.
the one day, the one worst time for it to happen. It happened. So
you got
yeah.
strawberries? Watch
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
you
So we
did.
just had to throw it all away
And
and
I
stuff.
made all this food, which the last since we've been open, I've tried to make Valentine's Day like a special day, like where we have drinks for people and we have food like snacks.
That's so cool.
But this year, like we have been just so busy, like
And
it
something
just-
was gonna go wrong. We were just like, we're just gonna do
I'm
the
not doing it.
normal.
I'm not
you know?
doing it, which I'm kind of glad because a lot of the people that did classes were not like couples or
Yeah.
really,
Oh,
so
that's
it probably would have been weird.
It's
Like
so
with-
weird too.
Yeah, you'd think.
I know it's kind of random, but it was still like
It's still good.
a ton of people
Ton of
came in. It
people.
was
Yeah, we were
awesome.
booked up all of Friday, all of Saturday, all of Sunday.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which was great.
That's awesome.
good.
Yeah. And then today's Sunday. Yesterday was one of the
Yeah,
busiest
yesterday was
days
really busy
that we've
too.
had as well. So yeah, we're really ramping up, you know, and it's awesome. We had this content creator, Explorer Amarillo. She came and just like made this little post about us, and it was very low key. And she's like, "Can I record?" I was like, "Yeah, for sure." And then I guess it just like went like locally viral
Yeah,
or something like
she
that.
has a huge platform, like
yeah.
Explorer Amarillo. Have you
Oh,
sid
yeah.
her?
I think I've seen. Yeah.
I seen the
She
video.
put us
I
on.
knew of
She put
y'all.
us on.
I don't know where I seen the video. And I was like, oh, that's my homies.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has gotten us so much business. Like,
That's
awesome.
Yeah, shout out.
Explorer.
Yeah, exactly. Because yeah, you know, like we were doing fine, and it was like whatever. But ever since then, we have been like slammed booked kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And
That's
thanks
great.
to
It's
her.
hard to
So
market yourself, you know, like
It
yeah,
is,
and
and
we're
I'm-
not good at it.
we're not great at it. And like, I like the stuff I post, like the
Yeah.
content I make, but it just does not have the outreach that someone like her, like an influencer has. Like it's day and night, like how many
Just-
people their stuff reaches
Mhm.
versus ours. So it's like, yeah, definitely super thankful she came in. Definitely like looking to do more of this kind of stuff, like collaborate with other people who have like outreach, because
Yeah.
it's like insane how much it helps. Because when we post stuff, we're just posting to our followers, like whoever sees it.
those are all
we
your
promote-
just homies.
Yeah,
We'll pay to
for sure.
promote posts sometimes, but
Yeah.
it just does not get the reach that like an individual who focuses on that
Yeah.
does.
I've been trying to
Definitely.
get on TikTok. TikTok's kind of
Mhm.
hard for me. I never really messed around with TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just sends me. It's like she's like my curation. She'll be like, "Oh, you'll like these
Yeah.
ones. Here you go." Like I don't have to like get
I
into
clock in
trenches,
too much
you
time
know,
on
and get
it.
in. Yeah. So I appreciate that. She just shows me the good stuff where I don't have to dig myself for it, you know.
You need those people. I have a couple of friends that just blast me with TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh."
That's me.
I got
Yeah.
like 80 TikToks I got.
Man.
Hope you're not busy.
Yeah,
Here we
Uh-huh.
go.
Carlos.
Yeah, I'm so bad
Oh,
with.
yeah. Speaking of Carlos, for the viewers, he wasn't able to make it because he was getting his new house today or moving into it.
I think he's moving into it.
Yeah, so the next-
Congrats, Carlos.
Yeah, is it proud of him?
Games.
But yeah, next
Yeah.
couple weeks he's not going to be on, so kind of bummed about that, but proud for him.
Do y'all have other people lined up?
We got a judge next
Yeah,
week.
Oh, heck yeah.
yeah, we're,
Okay.
How's Marcus doing?
yeah,
man?
props to him.
Okay.
We're
Hell yeah.
when we said we wanted to be like wine variety.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting a judge.
Yeah, right.
But
Judge.
man,
It's been all over the place. I kind of like it like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
for
fun.
sure.
Yeah.
To talk to all kinds of different people. Like
we
that's
learned
always
so
fun.
much.
And people
Yeah.
want to be on a podcast. I never think a lot of people want to be on it.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
man.
They're, oh yeah.
They'd be
like-
excited.
Yeah,
Right.
that's cool.
It's
And
fun to yeah.
later in I guess the end of next month we're gonna have the people who draw blood. What are they called?
Phlebotomist?
Phlebotomist,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or like a plasma.
Yeah,
center?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
have the manager at one of the plasma deals come with one of their employees.
hmm
Something we all can relate to.
Yeah,
we
shit,
can.
I donate plasma.
Yeah, we all-
Plasma, all that over the years.
Well,
I'm in there.
I like keeping it sporadic and I don't know, it's
Especially
kinda
in the
cool.
community.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
We're
100%.
still
Yeah.
kind of trying to find our niche too.
Yeah, for sure.
But that is really cool. Like, just there are so many different people do so many different things here
Yeah.
and like in a community.
Yeah, it's not just
It's amazing.
one platform that we looking for, one group of people, not just singers or
Yeah.
this or that. We looking for everybody in order for, first of all, to get them exposure and
Yeah,
people
100%.
can, get familiar with what they got to offer and everything.
Hmm.
I just kind of like the building the relationships part because you
Yeah,
meet like a lot
definitely.
of cool people. And,
Definitely.
and I think like even if you think of views or whatever, but like it's just like I'm meeting someone new every week.
Oh,
and
yeah.
learning
Yeah.
about them.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it's
That's
And
about.
the-
We touching the
man.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the format is really cool too because it's like you're just having a conversation.
Yeah, you don't
and
have
it just
to-
feels natural.
You don't have to,
You
Exactly.
don't have to have a
Yeah.
presentation
Big event.
or like
Yeah.
think much about like what you're gonna say. Like you just go with it.
You just kind of BS the whole time.
Yeah.
It's cool. Like, yeah, that's kind
You
of
can
cool.
find growth in BS sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
But I've learned to be a better interviewer.
Yeah.
Like I could like just kind of go all over the place and you kind of learn.
Yeah, you gotta keep it on track a
Yeah,
little
like
bit.
Drake, here.
Yeah.
We've learned a lot
Yeah.
past couple months. We've been
Oh,
doing
compared to
Yeah.
our first episode, I'm like,
Oh,
dude,
that first one, wow.
we were a night and day difference.
That's
I
good
know.
though.
Yeah.
That's
Circus
growth.
of the Colonel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
But yeah,
wild.
I am always like nervous to do like speaking stuff because like what if there's a lull and I don't know what to say or whatever like that. But I feel like this has been very there's been no lulls. It's been
Oh, it's
very
been
like
smooth.
That's all, I'm so
smooth.
glad, man.
That's
Yeah.
why I
Yeah,
make
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
comfortable, like,
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
It's cool y'all coming here. I appreciate that too.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, definitely.
On location.
This is
So
our first
perfect.
like mobile. podcast.
Yeah.
On the go.
Yeah.
That's
Cool,
good.
man.
Well, I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad.
We want to
like
do more
everything
like this.
is
Get-
working out.
Get y'all's place out there, show them
Yeah.
what it is, what y'all do.
Yeah, and y'all could definitely like do the expos and stuff eventually too.
Yeah.
I bet
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
like the battery powered stuff.
Yeah, Mark.
We actually have an idea about doing a mobile podcast down 6, just walking down 6.
Oh, that would be
Oh, that'd be
sick.
sick.
Just with his backpack on.
That would
Yeah.
be so cool.
His idea, it was a great idea. I love it.
That's gonna be cool.
Yeah, there's always like characters on section. Like it would not be
And
boring.
when we
It
get
would
down
not
there,
be
we
boring.
fit in as one of the characters.
I'm like, oh, these guys.
Yeah,
well,
that would be
close.
entertaining.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Well, shoot, thank y'all guys.
Yeah, for
Of course,
sure.
thank
So
you
much.
guys.
I think y'all guys have been our longest podcast so far, so that's good.
Okay.
Oh,
We didn't
okay,
do that.
cool.
Nah, it was all like good
Too much.
vibes. So
Yeah,
Okay,
plus
good.
we don't want to get put back out there in that pollution.
Yeah.
Drake, do you want to cut and do the outro?
Oh, did we do the outro? Okay, well, it was such a pleasure having y'all guys. I've known y'all forever, it seems
Mhm.
like, and y'all are good people. And
Oh,
I'm so
I
proud of
appreciate that, man.
y'all's business and what y'all guys are doing here in the community.
Heck yeah, man.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
that. That's
Likewise.
awesome.
It's a pleasure to have you guys.
Yeah,
Go
thank
check
you.
out Root.
Yeah, we'll have those links down below. But
Cool.
where are y'all normally located here?
1201 South Polk Street.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where we're at. And then we're on like Facebook and Instagram, and we have a TikTok as well.
Yes.
So you can kind of find us on that. But yeah,
Absolutely, we'll have all the links down there for everyone.
cool.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It was amazing meeting y'all.
Yeah, I
It was
appreciate
great
you
meeting y'all.
guys.
Thank you.